The Ghana Bar Association has its roots in the Gold Coast Bar Association, with the first president being a Sierra Leonean lawyer, Francis Dove. The Bar Association drew up its first formal constitution and code of ethics in 1958, and from then on, except for a few occasions when due to political reasons an annual conference has not been possible, the Bar Association holds a conference annually to reflect on the past and take important decisions. Lawyers numbering nearly 2,600 are participating in this year's general conference on the theme Peaceful, Fair and Transparent Elections, the Key to Sustainable Democracy. Addressing the opening, President Akufo-Addo reassured members of the Bar and Ghanaians of the transparent, free and fair elections on December 7, while calling on all those who have a stake in the electoral process not to renege on their responsibilities to preserve and protect the credibility of the upcoming general election.
For elections to fulfill this role, they should be conducted in a manner that is free from violence, manipulation, and fraud. The integrity of the electoral system is the foundation upon which the legitimacy of government rests. When elections are conducted fairly and transparently, the results are accepted by all, even generally by the losers. This broad acceptance is essential for peace, stability, and the continued progress of the nation.
The Chief Justice, Mrs. Gertrude Tokonu, announced the amendment to the High Court Civil Procedure Rules in resolving parliamentary election disputes.
It was noted in previous election cycles that the absence of a dedicated time frame for resolution of parliamentary election disputes and the subjecting of such disputes to the regular procedural rules of court led to horrendous abuse of the adjudicatory process. These amendments seek to address this phenomenon and introduce further measures for expedited hearings, such as electronic service of court processes.
The Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Mr. Godfred Yeboah-Dame, highlighted some successes chalked up in the fight against illegal mining.
From August 2021 to date, at least 76 persons, including 18 foreigners, have been convicted. They include the acclaimed Chinese Galamsey Queen, Aisha Huang, who was convicted on 4th December 2023 of offenses committed between 2014 and 2016 in the era of the previous government. Most of the convicts were sentenced under the new law at 995 to a minimum of 15 years plus a hefty fine for a non-Ghanaian.
The president of the Ghana Bar Association, Mr. Yahweh Champon Boafo, encouraged citizens to use dialogue to address their grievances rather than resorting to violence.
It is crucial for democracy as it ensures diverse perspectives are considered in decision-making processes. By way of a necessary disclosure, I am an unashamed proponent of dialogue. My extensive lived experience from working with different persons and situations, come from whom work environment and professional practice has continually reinforced my belief in dialogue.
Dignitaries who grace the occasion include the Asantehin Otunfosetu, Vice Chancellor of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Professor Rita Dixon, some traditional leaders and past presidents of the Ghana Bar Association.
Changing the narrative on suicide is a theme for this year's World Suicide Prevention Day. It encourages open and candid conversations about the subject, focusing on increased awareness and eliminating stigma to prevent suicides. On World Suicide Prevention Day, the Mental Health Authority is asking the public to be compassionate and supportive of persons exhibiting suicidal tendencies as it declares September as Suicide Awareness Month.
According to the World Health Organization, persons with underlying mental health conditions, vulnerable and marginalized groups with poor social support, low or middle income earners are categories of people at risk of committing suicide. In Ghana, 81 suicide cases and 500 attempted suicides were recorded this year. Even though suicide is no longer a criminal offense, it is shrouded in silence, stigma, and shame.
These challenges are further compounded by deepening socio-economic challenges in our societies today. Indeed, the harsh reality of economic hardship, unemployment, and social instability, being high-risk factors for increased suicide rates, cannot be ignored.
A suicide expert, Professor Joseph Osafo, said this year's theme prioritizes suicide prevention and called on government to enact policies that foster education, volunteerism, and advocacy.
Changing the narrative also requires action. It's not enough to simply talk about mental health. We must also actively work to create the change. This means investing in mental health education, promoting awareness campaigns, and supporting organizations dedicated to suicide prevention and other issues.
The Deputy Chief of Staff at the Ghana Armed Forces, Major General Raymond Ewusi, emphasized the need to take proactive steps on suicide issues, encouraging opening discussion on suicide prevention. He entreated the leadership of various organizations and institutions to create a conducive environment to enable persons to feel comfortable to speak out.
We have the power to change the narrative on suicide within our security services, our communities, and our nation. We have the responsibility to create an environment where mental health is prioritized, where support is readily available, and where no one is left to suffer in silence.
Suicide, as a global public health problem, accounts for over 700,000 deaths annually. It has become imperative that conversations about suicides are made open to dispel the myths and reduce the stigma shrouding the subject.
In a bid to empower the next generation of farmers and boost agriculture productivity, the Minister for Food and Agriculture, Dr. Bryony Champon, has handed over 100,000 starter packs to the national youth agencies for onward distribution to young farmers who sought the assistance. The initiative is part of the government's broader efforts to address youth unemployment while ensuring sustainable food production in the country.
Which include cutlasses, overall coats, spray machines, Wellington boots, goggles, utility hand gloves and power tillers were handed over to the National Youth Agency to be distributed to a group of young farmers from various regions. The package grants beneficiaries the necessary tools to kickstart or expand their farm operations. Speaking at the handing over ceremony, the Minister for Food and Agriculture, Dr. Bryony Champon, emphasized the importance of engaging young people in agriculture, noting that the sector holds immense potential for job creation and economic growth.
Today, we are here to present to them as a ministry, to YEA and young people who are interested in going into agriculture, 100,000 starter packs for young people. We also want to make a commitment to young people that here at Agric Engineering, we have some mechanization equipment made up of power tillers and other planters and other agric machinery that if they show interest, they can take advantage of.
The CEO of the National Youth Agency, Mr. Kofi Ejapon, said empowering young people in agriculture is crucial in achieving food security and economic resilience.
We think this is very timely. As you mentioned, in October last year, we launched the Youth in Agriculture. And since then, we've had over 52,000 youth applying for support from us. It shows the importance or how important this government takes agriculture.
This initiative is part of the Planting for Food and Jobs program, which seeks to bring the youth on board in tackling food insufficiency and unemployment in Ghana.
Mr. John Mahama has once again stressed for the need for a forensic audit of the voters' register produced by the Electoral Commission. He asserts that for the December election to be peaceful and fair, transparency is essential. Thus, the EC must address concerns in the voter register. Mr. Mahama was interacting with the chiefs and residents of Chira as part of his 4-day campaign tour of the Bunu region.
Voters register na ba no. Ye hu enyoma bebre ato sin e wo register no. Na se ye pese abato no ekoyie na asumdwe etra Ghana. Na e wo se Electoral Commission sorry eye omodwuma yie. E wo se omohwe sa register ni yie. Na enyoma enye e wo register no omohwe no musiesie nentem asani ato aba. Inti NDC there, your chairman and then one now say yebeye or yechre. Baby, Electoral Commission office will be a district office. Sa Krodiano, NDC 4, Sa Danu yebeshe enta there. Na ya demonstration akoho. Say ye chiro madrin, say register no almost sorry enya hu bibi. Inti on the 17th of this month. NDC is going to demonstrate in every town that has an EC office. Our chairman has announced it. NDC, you wear your T-shirt and you go and demonstrate to the EC office so that we can put pressure on them to do their job and do what they have to do in order to ensure peaceful and transparent elections.
At Bogoso in the Pristiahuni Valley area and in Poho in the Western region, the 2024 running mate of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, told the electorate that the next NPP government would establish a mineral development bank to support the mining industry. This will have the support of the private sector. He pledged his party is committed to transforming the small-scale mining sector and revolutionizing its benefits local while creating jobs and wealth for citizens.
The NPP's Running Mates campaign was greeted with a rousing welcome at Pristiahuni Valley. This location, an ancient mining community, holds one of the world's sought-after resources, gold. Currently, it operates both large-scale and small-scale mining, but Pristiahuni Valley has also suffered adverse effects of these mining activities. Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh told the chiefs, clergy and others that the MPP's primary objective had always been to manage Ghana's mineral resources in a way that benefits all and stimulates economic growth without compromising the environment.
Responsibly, not creating your benefit, not under your benefit. Now, you know, be free. Abrochili, and we choose kind of call no uncle. None of me here. Now, Sassy say, you don't know call you. Because you're irresponsible. Maybe I cabo. You ever said that will now be protected resource no matter what did you do?
At a mini rally in Bogoso, he was emphatic about his flag bearer's vision of encouraging responsible mining practices, building capacity of miners, and providing access to financing for equipment acquisition.
No, can say? Nyame obo wiase and this can share for my meboa. Abai subai ni say. Onu no ba community mining scheme. No bia ya juma bako meboa. The yempe and so be the machine because since you so as the nyansu aduma Ghana head ye wu. But I no say oba bebe ya Ghana say site bia o change no the community mining scheme. Omo we have small scale mining. Yeah, but bank no more medium scale mining. video scale mining. Not Ghana for now, large scale mining.
Dr. Matthew Pokuprompe cautioned the miners not to mine illegally or pollute the water bodies. He urged the people to vote Barbara Otinjasi as the next parliamentary candidate to drive development in the area. At Mpoho, the running mate admitted that there was still more work to be done, although the MPP has brought some development to the area. Counted on the people to vote for candidate Bawumia to implement his idea of bold solutions to businesses and jobs. He also rallied support for John Abuatani as the Member of Parliament for the constituency.
The New Patriotic Party has condemned the violence, chaos and snatching of a ballot box during a rerun of the Wale Wale parliamentary primaries. The presiding officer declared the exercise null and void as a result of a disruption during the sorting process between the incumbent MP Hajia Laribira Abudu and Dr. Mahama Kabiru. The chaotic scene occurred when an individual, Kamara Bawa, believed to be an agent of one of the two contestants, snatched ballot papers during the sorting, resulting in some ballots being destroyed. The NPP General Secretary of the party, Mr. Justin Kodra Frimpong, says the party believes in the rule of law and internal democracy and will not let any member found guilty of the wrongdoing. Mr. Kodra Frimpong said the party will hold an emergency national committee meeting to decide on the next line of action.
The party will give her fullest support to the Ghana Police Service and anyone that will be established as the one being the cause of the chaos in the electoral process will be dealt with according to the laws of the country. And the party will not come in to make any plea for such person. The New Patriotic Party is not known for violence. The New Patriotic Party, per our record, shows clearly that we are a party that believes in the rule of law. We are a party that believes in internal democracy and therefore will not do anything that will undermine the peace and stability in our party. The National Executive Committee is the body that is clothed with the power to deal with issues concerning parliamentary matters. And we've done it before. So certainly I can assure you that tomorrow a decision will be made by the National Executive Committee of our party, and which has to be made because Friday is the deadline for the closed-door nomination. So certainly a decision will be made, and the decision will be based on one that addresses the issues that happen at Wale Wale, one that will seek to reconcile the party at Wale Wale, and that will also seek to bring unity at Wale Wale and make sure that the party retain her seat at Wale Wale.
Now on the foreign front, at least 26 people have died after a boat carrying migrants capsized off Senegal's coast. Authorities say more than 100 people on the board the wooden fishing vessel when it sank just 4 kilometers into its journey.
So far, 4 people have been rescued and search efforts are still underway. The boat had departed from
remembering the lives taken and those reshaped by 9/11, marking an anniversary laced this year with presidential campaign politics. The date when hijacked plane attacked nearly 3,000 people in 2001 falls in the thick of the presidential election season every 4 years, and it comes at an special point this time, fresh off their first year ever debate Tuesday night. Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump are both expected to attend 9/11 observance at the World Trade Center in New York and Flight 93 National Memorial. Now let's have the weather report for today. On the line is Felicity Ahafanyo from the GNet to give us updates for today. Good morning, Felicity.
Good morning, Valencia. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Please, how are you doing today?
Please, I am better today than yesterday.
Sure, that's good. Thanks for joining us. So what should we expect for today's weather, especially when it's rained late in the evening?
Yes, thanks so much. For today, over the entire country, we expected this morning to have a cloudy situation. Then later, we expect the sun to break through with some possibility of rain expected over the central, western, and part of the Volta into OT region. The upper regions too, we still have some low chances of rain occurring today in the afternoon towards the evening hours. Temperatures are expected to range between 30 and 33 across the 16 regions. For our fisher folks, we expect the state of the sea to remain rough. So we are cautioned that they should be mindful because we are anticipating some windy conditions. They are going to navigate towards the Cameroon into Nigeria. We are expecting some patches of rain and thunder clouds over those areas, so they need to be careful. They are going towards the Cote d'Ivoire enclaves is also cool, but then the windy conditions will be there. But going on to the coast of Monrovia, Liberia areas too, we are having some patches of rain and thunder clouds around those areas, so they also need to be pretty careful. For the Volta Lake, it's cloudy this morning. Later, we expect it to give way to partly cloudy and a possibility of some rain and thunder clouds formations around Ketakrachi, Kwame Danso, Afram Plains area. Towards the Sogakofe area, we expect some, but then the probability of occurrence is very low around the Sogakofe enclave.
Okay, thank you very much for that update. That was Madam Felicity Ahafanyo from the GNet. Up next is the winning Alpha Lotto numbers for Tuesday. Alpha Lotto winning numbers for Tuesday: 81, single 9, 30, 84, 18. Alpha Lotto winning numbers for Tuesday again: 81, 81, single 9, 30, 30, 84, 84, 18, 18. They are coming. Oh. I'm Now let's flip to the other side where your favorite breakfast team is standing by to give us what we have for today. Good morning, guys.
Hi, Valencia.
Good morning, Valencia.
Thank you for the news updates. Hope you're good.
Awesome. Well, you enjoyed it.
I know.
At least you enjoyed it.
Yeah, and farmers have been crying for rain.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Accra, hopefully the north had some showers as well. May have some showers later.
Would have been good if it all happened in the north.
Yes.
At least we didn't need that much here in the south.
True, definitely. Good morning. We have lots for you this Wednesday morning. Our health segments, we're bringing you sexual trauma and healing. If this touches your core, send us your message on 055-556-1034. Reach us on our social media handles at GTV Ghana. We're streaming there as well. Later, I'll sit for a conversation on SIGA marking the 5th anniversary. Alan, what do you have this morning?
I have the usual, team coming for the headlines. And we're looking at what's making the headlines this morning. Everything else you can think about, from Galamsey to what ends up on your meal table. That's what we're looking at.
Definitely. So do join us for that conversation. I know you had some wahala with some fraudster this morning. I mean,
at 4 a.m. Can you imagine? Someone rings you up at 4 a.m. trying to scam you. I mean, boys are wild. Boys are wild.
So
4 a.m.
That's your package for Wednesday. There's going to be sports, there's going to be entertainment and lifestyle as well. So we're back with more. Stay with us.
Thank you very much.
breakfast, and it's time now for your motivational boost for the day. Now imagine you have a very important function to attend tomorrow, and you say, oh, you iron your dress that morning. Unfortunately, you didn't iron your dress the night before, and then you realize you wake up in the morning, your lights are off. You see, this is an admonishment to all of us. So the quote says, never leave that till tomorrow, which you can do today. So people who keep postponing stuff, please, no more procrastination. This is coming from Benjamin Franklin. And so we are still fighting the Galamsey menace. We are not going to postpone the fight. We'll keep fighting it today so that it doesn't worry us tomorrow. So that's our quote for the day. Never leave that to tomorrow, which you can do today. And so speaking about today in history as well, it's September 11th, and I'm sure a lot of you remember what happened back in 2001 when those two planes crashed into the trade towers, the Twin Towers, all the way in the US of A, led by Al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden. He was then assassinated. He was then killed back in Obama's administration. It was a devastating attack, and the world was shocked by these events. You can see one plane flying into the towers here. I remember coming back from school and wondering what is happening. Yeah, a lot of people lost their lives. It was a terrible, terrible, terrible tragedy. So for today in history, it's a sad one. It's a day we'll always remember and pray it never happens again. So that's it for today in history and our quote for the day. For now, there's a very interesting conversation coming up on health. I know a lot of you are looking forward to that, including me as well. So for now, I'll hand over to Motiti to take us away. Hello, Titi. Good morning.
Hi, Jay. Good morning. Good quote over there. And I'm sure you're taking minds back to what happened on that unfortunate day. But, you know, with the motivation that life goes on, and you'll be able to pick yourself up and move on. Thank you, Jay, for the quote of the day. Welcome to the health segment on GTV Breakfast. I am Maltiti Saida Sadiq, and today we're talking about a very critical and important issue. Now, in observance of Suicide Awareness Month, I would like to tackle a critical topic of sexual trauma and healing. Research has shown that sexual trauma can have a profound impact on a person's life and leading to, you know, feelings of shame, guilt, and isolation. If left untreated, these emotions may escalate into something else, including suicidal thoughts and behaviors. And we've got a doctor and the experts in the studio this morning to help us explore that. Dr. Esther Yesuto Agbozo. She's a medical doctor with Weja Bawe Municipal Hospital. Doc, good morning. Welcome back to the show.
Good morning.
Good to have you.
Having me again.
I'm sure lots of people don't know that, you know, sexual trauma is one of the big contributory factors to suicide. Send us your thoughts and comments if you've experienced this before. Do you know somebody who is going through this? To 055-556-1034. We'll read your thoughts and have the doctor respond appropriately. Doc, let's begin with, give us a scenario that shows somebody is going through sexual trauma and needs healing.
Okay, so let's think about a young girl. She wants to, you know, become a lawyer when she grows up. Now she's 19. Now this young girl, she's not, you know, developing, beginning to discover herself. And then the unfortunate happens to her. Her cousin, who happens to stay with them, decides to take advantage of this young girl because he knows that she's vulnerable. So he abuses her sexually. In the process, this young girl, apart from all the physical injuries that she has, she ends up getting pregnant, she has to drop out of school, and she has to deal with all the emotions that come with. She doesn't even understand the activity. And the first time she's experiencing this activity is without her consent. Now this young girl goes on with no help. Of course, the cousin wants her not to tell anybody else, it's going to harm her. So she keeps it to herself. She's dealing with all the emotions and all the trauma that she's going through. And then at the end of the day, she does become a lawyer. In as much as she got pregnant, had to drop out of school, she picks herself back up, goes to school, finishes law school. She's a lawyer. However, we need to understand that because she didn't get any treatment for everything that happened to her, she's carried that baggage all the way from 19 years to now that she's about 26. Now she's in a committed relationship. She's ready to get married, but she's very scared because for her, she believes that all men are like her cousin who did whatever he did to her when she was 19. And so it begins to cause some friction between her and then her partner. This is the story of a lot of people. They go through some form of sexual trauma. Nothing is done about it. They think they can deal with it on their own. And some people are not able to deal with it as best as they are supposed to. And they just carry the baggage along with them as they go on.
Way of life.
Yeah.
So tell us now what sexual trauma is, and then we'll bring in her story and look at what needed to have been done right.
Yes. So when we talk about sexual trauma, I have to say that this topic is a very sensitive topic. And so usually, if you'd see me on the other episode, you see I'm very bubbly, but this topic is one that is very sensitive. For people who are watching us who have maybe experienced some form of sexual trauma, I know that for some people, this episode may be a trigger. For some people, this is what is going to remind them of what they've experienced. That is not what we are trying to do to you. We just want you to know how best you could have dealt with it. If you're experiencing it now, if you know somebody, we just want you to help you. So see this more as help rather than as a trigger. Right. So when we talk about sexual trauma, it is any form of sexual violence. So if somebody is forced to do any form of sexual activity, it doesn't just have to be penetrative sex. We are talking about touching, we are talking about fondling, we are talking about even visualization. If you are sending me visual content which I don't want to see and it's sexual, you are abusing me sexually. I don't want to see it. Right? And for some people, they may not even come in contact with you directly, but then, for instance, if you are viewing somebody's nude pictures without their consent, you are still traumatizing them sexually because they don't want you to see it. Right. And we need to understand that all these acts cause not just physical harm to some of the people who experience it, it causes emotional harm, it causes psychological harm to these people. So any form of sexual experience which causes any form of physical, emotional, or psychological harm to the person receiving it can be described as sexual trauma.
When does it get to the person thinking about taking their life? Is it because there's a societal system that says, well, you should get married, and so if the perpetrator is a man, she wants to get married, she has to be with a man. Is that when she thinks, if I end it all, I don't have to go through this?
Great. So for most people who experience sexual trauma, most of them will end up with some form of mental disorder. A lot of the time, they'll end up with either some form of anxiety, some people end up with depression, some people end up with what we call post-traumatic stress disorder. Now, most people end up with anxiety because when you are going through a stressful situation, the mind is wired such that you have to be in a fight or flight mode. So your body is, in the danger mode. For people who experience sexual trauma, usually for all of us, when the stressful event is over, your body calms down. But for these people, they are usually stuck in that fight or flight mode for a very long time. And so you'd see that all the time, they are scared, they don't trust anybody, everybody is a danger to them. They are always on the lookout for who could be their next perpetrator. And so they will end up having a lot of worry and anxiety, and they can end up with anxiety disorder. Some people too will become withdrawn because they think that, quote unquote, they are contaminated or they are damaged goods, whatever term they choose to use on themselves, just because somebody took advantage of them. And when you end up with depression and anxiety, where we don't want people to get to is a point where they seek no treatment such that it gets very bad, and then these people begin to have suicidal thoughts. Some of them will actually attempt suicide. Some of them will succeed in taking their own lives. So usually it comes through the mental route where the person has something has happened, nothing is done. They end up with either anxiety, depression, or post-traumatic stress disorder, which is still not treated. And then eventually, these mental health conditions, when nothing is done about them, they just progress. So before the person gets to suicide, it takes a while. It doesn't. They don't just wake up and decide. It takes a while before they get to the suicide bit.
And I want us to still localize it and bring it to a setting. What are the misconceptions that, lets the victim get ignored until the person thinks that I have to take my life?
Yeah. So for, a lot of people have, when you hear some of the myths and the misconceptions, you're like, what if it was you? Exactly. Some people believe that you can tell a rapist just by how they look or how they act. And so the victim should be able to tell when they see someone who... It is not true.
Or the people look too innocent to have done that.
Exactly. How is somebody supposed to think that their own father wants to have sex with them? How is anybody supposed to think that their own brother could actually abuse them sexually? Nobody's going to think that. So if you tell the person that you should have known that this person could harm you, and so you should have protected yourself better, it is entirely wrong for you to do that to the victim. And then again, some people would also say that because the person didn't fight during their act, it means they wanted it. That is so not true.
That's true. We hear that a lot.
Yes, that is so not true. We need to understand that during the process of the abuse, the body goes into a freeze mode. So the person is frozen. So most of them will not be able to think, speak, or even move. So they are frozen, and whatever is happening to them. They come back to reality when the entire thing is over. Then they now have to process that this has actually happened to me.
Right.
So if you say because they didn't fight, it means they wanted it. That is entirely wrong.
Because, I mean, the other ways that they can fight are if it's not physically, then they may harm the person that is doing that. And if they are frozen.
Yeah, how are they supposed to do that?
Right.
Or if the person is stronger than them, how, again, are they supposed to fight?
What could have been done better? What should we do better? And does this mean that a lot of people have gone through this because maybe they've not even been able to identify that this act is a sexual abuse leading to trauma?
So many people. You know, statistics tell us that 1 in every 5 women have experienced some form of sexual abuse at some point in their lives. That is a very alarming figure. 1 in every 5. And you'd come to even know that you think that sexual abuse is usually a female thing. The male also says that 1 in every 71 men. That is a high figure. So if we take 71 men at random, at least one of them has been abused sexually. The unfortunate thing on our part of the world, especially in Ghana, you know, I think our first episode where we're talking about general sexual health issues, we mentioned rape. I left the episode and one of my legal friends called me and said, actually, men in Ghana cannot be raped. And I was sad to find out.
Really?
Yeah, so if you're a man in Ghana and somebody has sex with you without your consent, it is still not regarded as rape. And so you get no justice for it. They said rape can only be perpetrated by people who have a penis. How?
Is that the dictionary definition of
that? Is what the lawyers are telling me.
Wow.
So I left the show and the lawyers called me and said, I shouldn't have said that men can be raped because men cannot be raped in Ghana.
So what's that act when a woman forces themselves on a man?
They just believe it's sexual assault. So you can't tell me rape. So you may not get the justice that you actually need for it just because you're a man and you have a penis. Just because God created you like that.
I think society should move away from this kind of...
And I was like, no, I think that the lawyers, they have to review,
yes.
Because a lot of men are taking advantage of us. Well, it's not just about we, the women.
And is it a societal stigma as well? So
yes.
It's been quiet for a long time.
Yes. You'll find out that over 70% of sexual trauma issues are not reported.
The male side of it, or generally.
Over 70% are not reported.
Over 70%.
That is a lot. So just 30% are being reported. And so it tells us that even what we think is we perceive as a problem, we have an even bigger problem on our hands. Because if more than 2/3 are not being reported, then we have a bigger problem on our hands.
Maybe because of the lack of knowledge, before the person grows up and realizes that this act was sexual abuse, because you know that the family setting, how comfortable is a child going to tell, and then the threats.
The threats. And you know, one time I had a little girl about 19 who was pregnant. She came to the hospital only for me to find out that she had been abused by her neighbor's son. And then I asked the mother, did you report this incident? The mother said, where they say I'm like, this is your daughter's life we are talking about.
Yeah.
And you people decided to just sit in the house and settle it in the house just because you're trying to maintain some form of peace.
Right.
That is what happens, especially...
I think that's something that will just pass.
You know, so people usually like to settle it and not, make a big deal out of it. Meanwhile, the victims of these actions are really suffering, and then sometimes their lives take a turn forever. Some of them will take a very long time to even get to recovery.
Do some ever heal even?
Some people never heal. Some people never heal. A good number of people, if they use the right forms of treatment, they can heal. But for most people who are seeking no help, no treatment, some of them will carry this baggage to their graves.
Wow.
Yeah.
How does anyone start the treatment journey if they identify that they had been sexually abused and they are going through trauma at a latter part of their life?
Yeah. The very first thing is that we know that it is very difficult, and most people like to suppress the thought that it has happened. But the first thing you need to do is accept that it has happened. It is very difficult, but you need to accept that this has happened to me. Now, having accepted that it has happened to you, you need to open up to somebody. That is, again, very difficult. Going to tell somebody that I've been raped or I've been sexually abused in any form. Nobody is excited to go and tell somebody that. And so you need to ensure that whoever you're opening up to is somebody that you trust.
Doesn't judge you.
Yes, and somebody who is not going to judge you. Very important, okay? So you are looking at friends and family that you believe that even if a gun is pointed to their head, they are not going to spill your secrets.
Right.
Okay? And then if you can't find anybody like that in your family or among your friends, that is where we, the health people, come in.
Okay.
So you can see either a psychologist or a psychiatrist or any general medical practitioner. Our job doesn't allow us to disclose any form of information. And so even if you come and tell us, we can't tell anybody, even if we wanted to.
Right.
So if you don't trust anybody in your circle, you can seek professional help from us, where we would, help you go through the process. Whatever has happened, you need to
tell us the process.
Yes. So the important thing is that once you open up to people, it takes some of the weight off you.
Okay.
So you don't have to carry all the weight alone. So now it's like there's somebody who actually understands you, somebody who is empathizing with you, somebody you can reach out to when it gets overwhelming. Okay. Now, having done that, then you need to learn to prepare for your triggers. Now, these triggers are going to come. For some people, it is just an anniversary date. Maybe it happened to them on today is September 11th. So every September 11th that is coming, they begin to remember everything that has happened. So it's just that date. For some people, it's a particular smell. Maybe the perpetrator has a particular smell. For some people, it's just a sound. Maybe where they found themselves, there was a particular sound. So whenever they hear that sound, yes, they get flashbacks. And then you need to understand that these triggers are going to be part of your life. And so you prepare for them. So because you're anticipating them, you're in better control of the situation. So for instance, if you find yourself in a place where there is that sound, you can take yourself out of the place. If you find your place in a place where there is a smell which triggers you, you take yourself out of the place.
Okay.
Sometimes your triggers can also be unannounced. You may not be expecting it to happen, it happens. That is where you need to learn how to calm yourself. Because most people, when they have triggers, they'll go into panic mode.
Right.
Because they begin to relive the experience again, like it's happening all over.
Okay.
So that is where you need to learn some calming mechanisms. What you can do is sometimes all you need to do is just pinch yourself or rub your hand, your arm. Remind yourself that, okay, this is the present. I'm not in the past. Some people need to do deep breathing exercises. These are very simple exercises that anybody can do.
Okay.
All you need to do is either sit straight or stand straight. So if you want good posture, you can maybe lean against the wall. You're taking a deep breath through your nose. You breathe in for 4 seconds. Then you hold for 7 seconds. Then you breathe out for 8 seconds. So you are doing this and you're counting in your head. By the time you do it about 2-3 times, you realize that you begin to calm down. Right. So you need to learn some of these techniques as well.
Do people come with, their partners for you to get them to understand the situation that they are in? And have you had success stories? Have you also had those that have, as you said, fight or flight?
Yeah. So some people do come with their partners. The very important thing is that if your partner is not an understanding person, you have a bigger problem in your hands. So if you have a partner who has experienced sexual trauma, you have to be patient with them. You need to understand that you have to reassure them all the time that you still care about them and you don't see them as less because of what has happened. You need to always understand that some of them may not want to talk about it. Some people too may want to talk about it over and over again because that is what makes them feel better.
Right.
So you should be ready to tolerate that. It may get frustrating for you as well, but you need to learn to put up with it. Okay. And then for some people too, you need to understand that because something has happened to them, they may not be in a hurry for physical intimacy again. So you have to be patient. You have to be empathetic. Try to put yourself in their shoes and think that if this was you, how would you feel? And so for some partners, their partner would also end up, getting some form of mental health issue because of all the pressure from yes. So you, the partner, you may have to also take care of yourself mentally so that you can help the person who has been traumatized. Right. And then the good thing is that there have actually been success stories.
Okay.
There are people who have gone through sexual trauma, they've sought help, and today they are going about their lives like nobody's business.
Wow.
Just because they sought some form of help. So it is important that if you have any form of sexual trauma, you need to get help. That's the truth. You just need to get help.
You just need to get help. What other ways can, our society protect, children from parenting to foster families to guardians?
Yes.
And the school system
The
as
school
well.
system. It's a very, very big problem. When we start from the home, you'd see that it's important that as children are growing up, parents need to have some conversations with their children. We need to come to a time where it is comfortable for a parent to sit down with their child and tell them that if somebody touches you in a particular way, it is wrong. I remember my big sister used to do that with her little girl. She was just about 3 years old, and when she goes to school and comes back, somebody even touches her hand. She come in, Mommy, somebody touched my hand today, And I was like, come on, you are overdoing the whole thing. But it's very important because her mom had told her if somebody touches you here or here, don't allow them. and when you come home, come and tell me, this is what we are supposed to be doing.
That's true.
It should start very early, so that a child knows that if somebody touches me in a particular place, it is inappropriate, and I'm supposed to report the person to some form of authority, either my teacher, or when I go home, I have to inform my parents. But in Africa, we don't want to talk about these things in the house.
The problem in Africa. Do we sometimes see victims becoming the abuser later on in life because that has been done to them? Physical abuse, but this time sexual trauma and abuse.
Yes, it happens. So you'd come to see that for people who are sexually abused, a lot of them would end up, a good number of them will end up becoming abusers themselves. The reason is that for someone who has been abused, they usually say that is the normal.
It numbs their feelings.
It numbs their feelings. And then they think, okay, if it has happened to me, why can't it happen to somebody else? So they have no sympathy for whoever they are also going to abuse. So the cycle just continues. So somebody is abused, they become an abuser, the other person, then it just goes on. And our society will get to a point where it will not be safe for any of us to walk around again. And it's important to say that in as much as sometimes people would say that the victims were also to blame, I have to say it categorically. Under no circumstance, regardless of what the victim did, should they take the blame for the abuse. It's all on the perpetrator. Whether she was wearing a mini skirt, whether she was acting seductively, whether she was flirting, whatever it is, the perpetrator is to blame. That is it.
I've heard of teachers who have abused little girls, and there was this particular one where he said the little girl's uniform was torn and he saw her skin. Is this victim mentally, do you think they're mentally okay to have?
You see, some people will hide behind the curtain of not being mentally okay. A lot of sexual abusers like to hide behind that curtain. Some of them will say, oh, I was drunk, I was not in my right state of mind. Exactly. The truth of the matter is that a lot of people who are sexual abusers, they know what they are doing. They just take advantage of people because they know they are vulnerable. Because how do you tell me that because a little girl, her uniform is torn, you want to have sex with her? If everybody goes around sleeping with everybody whose uniform is torn, where would we be?
Where would we be? I wanted to touch on marital sexual abuse and trauma. Have you seen those cases? What happens to the couple just before we leave here?
Yeah. So usually people think that sexual trauma happens with perpetrators that you don't know. A good number of them, studies have shown that a good number of them are actually people they know. Sometimes they are married partners. Now, the fact that you are married to the person doesn't mean that automatically you have
in safe hands.
You know, control over them. So it's not like every time you want to have some form of sexual contact with them, even if they say no, you still go ahead. I know a lot of the Ghanaian society or even Africa would disagree with me. But the fact that you've paid somebody's bride price doesn't mean that she's your sex toy.
Yes.
Such that every time that you want to have sex, she has to agree. If she says no, it's a no. She's your wife, I know, but it's a no. If you go on to force her to do it, it is still regarded as abuse. And some of these marriages, some marriages will collapse because of this one act. Some marriages would, not be the same again just because of, those few moments of pleasure you wanted to have and you forced her.
Right.
And that would just be, the foundation for your marriage collapsing. I don't think anybody wants that.
Doc, I'm sure we'll have you back on the show, and probably that day we'll open phone lines to hear from parents as well, what their children are going through, and even victims who have lived through this and today are thriving. In just a minute, what can you tell anybody going through this, anybody who has children and are scared? Sometimes, as you said, people they know, mates, extended family members. What can you tell them?
Okay, so what I can say is that it's very important that you have a high index of suspicion, okay? I remember a friend of mine told me that you don't have to trust everybody. You always need to have at least that iota of suspicion that this person could do something to you.
Once paranoia sets in.
No, it should be limited. Okay. You are just doing it to an extent where you are alert, such that you are not naive and then something happens and you are not prepared for it.
Right.
And parents, again, you need to educate your children. Let them know some of these things. Let's become comfortable talking about these things. And then for people who have experienced any form of sexual trauma, or if you know somebody who has experienced sexual trauma, please help them to get help. That is the bottom line. They need to get help. Right. If they can't do it on their own, that is where we, the health professionals, come in. Myself, if you reach out to me on social media, I would be very, very glad to help.
What's your name on social media?
They can go to EYA the Medic or EYA Medical Consult, any of them.
Please spell the EYA.
EYA is just EYA, then underscore there, then underscore Medic. That is my name on social media. You can reach out and we'll be very glad to assist you in any form.
EYA underscore the Medic.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Yesuto, for having this conversation with us. Very, very insightful, and I'm sure it has resonated with a lot of parents to be more cautious about, your children and to seek help if you have ever been in such a situation. 1 in every 5 women has been sexually abused and is going through trauma, and 1 in every 71 men has been sexually abused and is going through trauma. I've been speaking to Dr. Esther Yesuto Agboza. She's Agbozo Medical Doctor, Weja Agbawe Municipal Hospital. Thank you, Doc, for coming again. It's been great having you. I'm out at Isaida Sadek. My costume is by No Rush Collection. We have more conversations for you on the Wednesday edition of GTV Breakfast. It's proudly brought to you by Awake Purified Drinking Water, Virtual Sound, and Medimosis. Stay with us for more.
Studio One. This is the Breakfast Show.
And we're back. It's still hashtag GTV Breakfast. It's time now for the social media corner, bringing you all the trends of what that's going on in Ghana, Africa, and all over the world. Of course, there are a number of trending issues on the web. And for now, the first story we're going to touch on is the fact that someone who is considered the voice of God when it comes to voiceover work, in the person of James Earl Jones, an iconic actor who was in Star Wars, Coming to America, and a whole host of productions. He's passed on at age 93. For a lot of people growing up, we love the Lion King animation, and he voiced Mufasa in that production. There are a lot of iconic voices in that animation, including Scar's voice as well. So that's Mufasa who died. James Earl Jones who passed on. And we're going to share some snippets of his career highlights. It's very brief, so we say, may so rest in perfect peace.
As ruler rises and falls like the sun. One day, Simba, the sun will set on my time here and will rise with you as the new king.
This field, this game, is a part of our past, Ray. It reminds us of all that once was good, and it could be again.
He told me you killed him. No. I am your father.
What is this? McDowell's?
It's a place over on Queens Boulevard. I think he works there.
My son works.
You knew Babe Ruth?
George? I sure did. And he knew me. He was almost as great a hitter as I was. I would have broken his record, too, but...
You went blind.
Yep. I used to crowd the plate so the strike zone almost disappeared. Pitchers hate that.
Look at the stars. The great kings of the past look down on us from those stars.
Really?
Yes. So whenever you feel alone, just remember that those kings will always be there to guide you.
Very, very amazing voice for him. You know, the reason why we refer to him as the voice of God, he and Morgan Freeman, is the fact that that rich baritone voice that they have. And it's an immortal sounding kind of voice, in the sense that if you know CNN and you know this tagline, this is CNN. And look at the number of years he did that voice, and it's lived with CNN for all this time. James Earl Jones, may your soul rest in perfect peace. All right. Now that James Earl Jones' work is done on earth, you know, a lot of his works, we know how good he did. And for a number of people, it's very good when people appreciate the work that you do. And for someone like Kofi Kenata, he was very, very surprised when the Otumfuo referenced his song Susuka in a speech at the annual general conference for the Ghana Bar Association currently going on in Kumasi. He was very ecstatic and elated about it, and fans also jumped in as well. So we'll take a snippet of Otumfuo's speech. When we come back, we'll read some of the comments on social media.
To the people of Ghana, especially our political leaders, journalists, social commentators and civil society advocates, is to think deeply before denigrating the system. We have a judiciary that may not be perfect, but it deserves credit for the positive efforts. I can think of many countries which look at Ghana and concede, sometimes listen to the wisdom of our musicians and reflect on a piece like Kofi Kanata's Obi Nyawaye, or listen to what my minstrels stand by me are saying.
And listen to the wisdom of your musicians. And then when you go on his X page, his Instagram as well, his social media pages, Kofi Kenata is sharing a very humble, you know, he's so excited about it. And he says, Auntie Amae, I have made it. Hashtag Kofi O Kofi. And you see he has shared a video on his X page as well. So let's read a few of the comments. So Eli Love says, study to the world. Kofi, we are proud of you. Top musician. No drama, no beef, no fancy cars, no girls. Just pure music and class. Respect, bro, with a clapping emoji. This coming from Lukman. And let's go. Okay, so Fixing Dennis says you should bring us a Grammy. That's how high I rate you. And he will bring a Fixing, he will. Fuseni says, team move. Hack says, everyone loves Kofi. Imaboro says, fancy rap god, FRG. Number of comments here praising his efforts. And Shad says, you have indeed made it. Your songs are inspiring and encouraging, especially behind the scenes and Susuka. Also, your current EP is doing well, and I listen to it almost every day. Bless up. Team Move. One love. Justin Kwame says, is the clap after Otumfuo mention your name, was it for me, senior? At Kofi Kenata Ghana, you are blessed beyond your imagination, sir. Soar higher. Arnold Lawson says, you have to specially pay him a visit in his palace. I second this call. Kwame says, make an impact in life, and kings and bishops will mention your name. The whole Ghana musicians, if you Kofi Kinata, we don't get problem with any artist. The N'Golo Kante of music, you just can't hate him. Well, that is true. N'Golo Kante is one of those players we realize that he's friendly towards everybody. Nobody hates him. It's like he leaves everything on the pitch. Very, very good player. Salon Lochi says, my dad says you are older than your age. Interestingly, you two share the same date of birth. So you realize the comments go on and on and on. Yeah, so on his social media pages, after Otumfuo referenced his song, this is how he chose to mark the occasion. Enjoy this one.
Otumfuo mentioned your name before. You know Otumfuo. Kofi Menko, Shaboshe, Kofi Wo. Otumfuo mentioned your name before. You know Otumfuo. Kofi Menko, Shaboshe, Kofi Wo.
So what do we call him? Nana Humaso or what? Kokoti, 24/7. The N'Golo Kante of music indeed. So that was Kofi Kinata's reaction to what Otumfuo said about his music. Now moving on Monday I brought you a snippet of High School Africa's video where Goshes interviewed the secondary level 100, no, not level 100, I'm speaking about university, I mean SS1 student, where she was speaking about the fact that the National Science and Maths quiz cannot be used as a benchmark to see which schools are good and which schools are bad. Some people say they don't know in science secondary school, it shouldn't be because they don't come for National Science and Maths quiz. It's just that there may be good students there and all, but it's just that they are generally not famous. Now, after making these remarks, everybody was remarking on how erudite she was, speaking about it. But some people on social media as well came in with negative comments. And because of that, later on, High School Africa, that's Goshe, you can check their page out on YouTube and social media as well. They came back with her response to their critics. And this is it.
I was reading the comments. I came across a certain comment that stated that I said the National Science and Maths quiz is a bogus show.
No, but are you aware it's social media?
No.
So, you talk.
That's
talk.
not what I said.
Okay. What did you say?
I think some people misunderstood what I said. I never said the show is a bogus show.
Okay.
What I said was the National Science and Maths quiz, it should not be used as a benchmark to determine whether a school is good or not.
Okay. It's not bogus, but then it should not be used to say that this school is better than this one. That's what you said.
That's what I said. So we let's experiment.
Experiment what?
You see, let's say we have school A and school F. School A is known to be a grade A school, and then school F is a grade D school.
So it's a grade F school. It's grade D, it's grade F.
Then let's take the teachers from school A, move all of them to school F, and then we also take the teachers from school F and remove all of them to school A.
So that they should go and do the magic.
Simple. And if it does not work like that, then it means that, as I said, GES is being biased.
I did sponsorship to facilitate this course. I'm interested.
It's being biased. Since they're the ones producing or recruiting teachers for all the schools in Ghana, how can you say you're giving magicians to this school and then you're leaving the others behind? It shouldn't be done. That's why I'm saying that it cannot and it should not be used as a benchmark.
It cannot.
That is what I am saying.
A number of shots fired. You can check out the full interview on High School Africa on YouTube. You can follow @Cautious2 on X as well. And for a lot of people, driving on the motorway at night, sometimes it's a struggle for them because there are a lack of street lights. And it's not just the motorway. There are certain areas in Accra, which is the capital of Ghana, where you expect you to see some street lights. But either some unscrupulous person has gone to remove the bulb or somebody has cut the wire. It's like there's a lot going on in Accra. Everybody's hot. So usually you don't know why, and there's not a light source situation, and even for solar lights which are supposed to be working all the time, you go there and sometimes the solar panel is missing. Anyway, for Shatawale, he was bemoaning the fact that there's a lack of street lights in town. We chanced upon this video on social media. Let's listen to him rant about it.
All this place, lights no day here. When man did, then one time say they get leaders. Then leaders, they can make some promises and things then, because majority of us know no God. Then we just did that. Then we follow them. Darkness country. See Accra. Street lights, all know the work. And man, they talk. Then someone can tell you they get leader. Somebody go, I go slap somebody for this country. Somebody go tell me nonsense. Citizens, you put a city, you put see road, like with the village. These are heading to the airport. One man they talk. People they want to support somebody in job. That one they know they wipe anybody. See road, see. Here all light no day. Sometimes people say villages where they make nobody can be. See.
When God said, let there be light, some people say he missed Africa. Anyway, let's move on. I don't know if you know Peter Sedufia. He's the director for KTK and Side Chick Gang and a host of other movies as well. He's done a co-production with Nigeria. And it looks like Ghana and Nigeria movie industry, there are a lot of collaborations going on at the moment. I remember a country called Ghana, that was Lil Wayne inviting Ramsey Noah over to do a number of stuff. And of course, Peter Dochi was giving us a history of high life recently, remarking on how good Ghana is, some of the artists we've churned out over the years. And of course, Peter is now doing a collaboration with them as well. And they have wrapped up filming for their movie, One Night Guest. Synopsis for the movie is not yet out, but you realize that a number of Nigerian stars, and that's really Uncle Joe Betting, your shot right now, very powerful cinematographer, you want to go over there. It's like this collaboration between both countries. I believe when the movie comes out, December 25th, is going to be amazing. Now, so we're moving on. A lot of people advise people that if you're staying in Ghana, you won't make it and stuff like that. So you need to go abroad where you can make it. But Freezy McBones has a different view about that.
Job in UK. Right. Everyone who is in UK got no education level, or even those people they have education level in here in Ghana. Bro, I'm not saying I'm not snitching, right? I'm just saying how I'm proud of myself, right? I'm not talking about anybody. I'm talking about myself. If I say something that hurt anybody, sorry. I'm talking about myself.
No, but what you're saying is true. A lot of people have 2-3 jobs. Yeah.
Bro, you have to have 2-3 jobs before you can make. So and easy is there over there. Some of my aunties, Charlie, they're outside. They are tired, but they can't stop because of what is going on home. Because maybe she got, let's say, 3 kids at home, 4 kids at home. All these kids, one who is in UK got no education level, or even those people they have education level in here in Ghana. Bro, I'm not saying I'm not snitching, right? I'm just saying how I'm proud of myself, right? I'm not talking about anybody. I'm talking about myself.
Basically, nowhere cool like that. That's all he's saying. And he's not snitching. He's just speaking the facts as they are. Someone ordered an AC from China. I saw the video, and I told myself, that is not an AC. Maybe I'm not educated enough. Maybe in the era of AI, I may be mistaken. But it's the level of confidence for me. I may be wrong, but this is what they ordered from China, the AC they ordered. Please, take a look at this.
I'm the there, but
the order on, no.
AC now discuss our tablet and
this order home. Like,
Neden else, scanner do go to AC in a rabbit.
Hey,
Mammy,
say, who said every move, say, we know you.
Only AC in I'm going to miss it.
Hey, what I ordered.
Then if you move,
AC.
When you be saying that this wrong. You say half for.
We don't know we want for.
Na it was a woman for and I said woman you. Wait, do na cry.
We just want to issue this disclaimer right here, right now. That has nothing to do with Chinese ACs at all. Their products are very good. I don't know, that is a humidifier. You know, you put it in your room and from time to time it will spit out some vapor, make the room very cold. We're using it a lot during COVID-19, the lockdown era. So that is not an AC, especially a Chinese AC. It is not. So please, that is not an AC. Maybe you didn't read humidifier over there. So please, that's just for your benefit. And I don't know how you feel about forgiving your partner if they cheated on you. Yes, there's a special shout out to everyone called Eddie. We don't know which Eddie it is, but this lady is pleading that he forgives her for cheating on him. If you were the one, this is how she wants him to forgive her. Would you forgive him? Will you forgive her? I mean, yes. Watch this one.
Ekangende nange nonyo molala no neta muchala togenda ekangende nonya nakumira ebyo no neta muchala togenda ekangende nkoyo kukumira kansanga ninengoye labakati zikatiye nakusanga nina mabanja kona kati wasasula ekangende nange nonyo molala no neta muchala togenda ekangende nonya
Oh, some people are saying with the way she's asking Eddie to forgive her with the PS5, he may. Some people say they will not. I just want to say it's a PS5. All she has to do is add another controller, and then Charlie, everything is sorted. I'm just so you see the way the pros and the cons. Anyway, this is all time will allow us for. Thank you for joining me on the social media corner. My name is Jay Gabra. It's time now for sports. Let's go to Studio 5.
Flight last season, his impressive performance earned him his trials at both Chelsea and Barcelona, with the latter securing his signature. Ojo said he's very happy for the move to the Spanish giant. It is history for Ghana. Being the first player to move from here straight to Barcelona is great news for Ghana. Ojo will begin his journey with Barcelona B with the hope of impressing his first team manager, Hansi Flick, throughout the season. So congratulations to Ojo.
Because I want to learn a few things from him. Yeah.
From Alejandro Balde.
Yeah, Barcelona.
And the way things are going, if you go to Barcelona and you play well, you might take his position.
I want to compete with him.
How does it feel knowing that you may, if things go according to plan that you want, you might compete with your role model?
How does it feel?
Yeah, how does it feel?
It will be a great feeling because I've always watched him play. And I admire him a lot, so it will be a great feeling for me.
All right, and still on FC Barcelona and Spanish powerhouse FC Barcelona have officially unveiled the new Ghanaian signing. Abdul Aziz from Ghana Premier League side Dreams FC. Issa joined Barcelona on a season loan deal, which includes an option for the club to make the most and a permanent move at the end of the season. We're hoping all the best for him and wish that he will get to stay at FC Barcelona at the end of his loan. All right, and to some good news. Former Ghana under-17 coach Lai Kinsing has accepted a new coaching position at RPS Academies in the United States. He will contribute to developing young football talent along the team of coaches at the Multisport Academy located in St. Lucie, Florida. Kinsting, who holds a UEFA License B coaching certificate, brings a wealth of experience to the role. He expressed enthusiasm for the new challenge despite leaving the Black Satellites during the Under-17 WAFU B Championship in Accra. Kinsing expressed that he will do whatever it is to make sure that the team succeeds. So he says, I am very much at home working in an environment that contributes education with sports performance, but with even bigger responsibilities this time, he shared. So he also explained that the talent search beyond the current United States-based African players aiming to scout for promising young athletes across the African continent, particularly in West Africa. Kinston resigned as a Black Satellites coach after failing to qualify the team to the Under-17 African Cup of Nations tournament. So congratulations to Lai Kinsing, one of our own here. All right, and so let's move on now. And Asamoah Gyan quits party politics. And so let's look at the statement. So as a proud Ghanaian, so a statement, Mr. Asamoah Gyan, vision for youth development through sport and philanthropy. So as a proud Ghanaian, deeply connected to our people, I feel strong responsibility to give back to the community that shaped me. Football has taken me to the world's biggest stages, but its value I have learned here, resilience, discipline, and unity that have made me who I am today. My vision is to empower the youth of Ghana and Africa through sport and philanthropy. This is not about politics. I am fully independent from political influence. This is about our children, our communities, and our continent, together with the support of international organizations, royal families, and philanthropic partners. We can create lasting change that empowers our youth to build a future they deserve. Sports have saved me and gave me purpose. Its power goes beyond winning or losing. It's about overcoming setbacks, pushing through challenges, and believing in dreams. I want every young person who matters their background to have the same opportunity, regardless of their background, to have the same opportunity to realize their greatness through the Asamoah Gyan Foundation, the Moore Green Foundation, and all regional games will build sports academies, training centers, and mentorship programs that nurture young talent in all sports. More than that, will emphasize education, character, and life skills to prepare our youth to succeed beyond the field. The mission is about hope and opening doors for those who feel left behind, giving them the belief that their dreams are possible. By promoting the UN Sustainability Development Goals, focusing on education, health, and equality, we can ensure that every young person has a chance to thrive. I believe sports can unite and inspire us in a powerful way. Together, we can harness that power to uplift the next generation and create a brighter future for Ghana and Africa. And signed by Asamoah Gyan, chairman of the Asamoah Gyan Foundation. All right, moving on now, and we're moving on to the Ugandan whose partner set her on fire. She died. Unfortunately, her boyfriend, her former partner, has also died after he set levels and degrees of burnt. A Kenyan Hospital officially said that Dixon Inyama, who ambushed the marathon runner as she returned home from church more than a week ago, he has also passed away. All right, so that's it. We're wrapping it up. Thank you very much for joining us here on GTV Breakfast. My name is Gloria Pepper, but here on GTV Sports Plus, Akosio and I have got more for you. Bye for now.
This is the Breakfast Show.
Morning, and thank you for staying with us. We're grateful you're still around. This is GTV Breakfast. Time is 34 after the hour 7. My name is Darrell Allen Tego, and you're welcome to the headlines. This is where we look at what's making the headlines, what's making the rounds in our newspapers, on radio and on TV, and what have you. Joining us this morning will be my guests from the various political divide to look at the stories. Before then, though, let's look at what's making the front pages of our national newspapers. And that we're going to start with the Ghana's most authoritative newspaper, the Ghanaian Times. What is making the front page of the Ghanaian Times? And it says, Greater Accra Minister fumes at MMDC East. That's one of the bold stories on the Ghanaian Times. Why the Greater Accra Regional Minister fuming? The details are on page 3 of the newspaper. And then we also have pressure mount on government to combat illegal mining with the photograph of Otumfuo Osei-Tutu Asantehene. And then third cohort media capacity enhancement program begins in Accra. That is also on the front page of the Ghanaian Times. Let's move on to the next newspaper, and that is the Daily Graphic. Somebody will say, Daily Graphic has at its front page strategic local development policy out. Strategic local development policy out, and that has a picture or the photograph of document aims to drive sustainable economic development. That is on the front page. And deal with errant election officials, Afarijan tells EC. Afarijan tells EC. Lawyer shortchange hit legal aid scheme. Lawyer shortchange. There are no lawyers to take up pro bono cases. And that's what is hitting Ghana today. Next paper, and then I'll move on to introduce my guests who are going to be helping me make meaning of all that we have read. The Daily Guide leads with Mahama incites NDC against EC. That's what Daily Guide has to say. And then it also has the photograph of Honorable Asenso Boakye. NPP's road infrastructure feet are matched. And that is what Asenso Boakye says. 4 arrested over Oyarefa violent attack. That is out there. And then you have Mike Okoye Jr. files parliamentary forms. Minister launches revised LED policy. And finally, Lariba Zuwera withdraws from NPP Wale primary. And that is where I'll end it for now and come into the studio. Introducing my guest. To my immediate left is the Honorable Timothy Awinterim Atabuade. Honorable, good morning. And next to him is Henry Asante. Henry Asante speaks for the Movement for Change. Henry, good morning. Welcome to the headlines.
Thank you, sir.
In the headlines and also all throughout the week, one that will not leave is Galamsey. But before we come to talk about it and also consider some of the headlines I've just mentioned, let's first of all take what's on your mind. Honorable Awinterim.
Yeah, Darrell, good morning, and I like the enthusiasm with which you're exhibiting this morning.
It's a Wednesday morning. It can't be bad.
MPP might need to use you for an advert, a billboard advert.
Yeah.
The energy with which and the passion with which you are.
You are not branding me SDP then, are you?
No. Because in this economic downturn, in this economic quagmire, I admire the way with which you are energized this morning, probably for the good of the country.
Absolutely, for God and country.
Yes, and to ensure that we do the right. And good morning, Henry.
Yeah, good morning.
And good morning to our viewers out there. Just a little bit, I saw the Daily Guide front page telling us that Mahama incites the NDC against electoral commission. Is
yes,
that right?
That's
and
the
if
front page of the Daily
indeed,
Guide.
let me say good morning to our indefatigable President John Dramani Mahama, who is going round the length and breadth of this country, selling his manifesto that was launched, resetting Ghana for jobs, accountability and prosperity, to build the Ghana we all want together, to stop the decay, to stop the unprecedented corruption, the Galamsey menace that has become a timing bomb. It is now waiting to explode. It's exploded, but it's going to be like a huge explosion. What is on my mind this morning is obviously that, you see, the Electoral Commission must be held to accountability. The Electoral Commission has been set up by the Constitution for purposes of conducting everything concerning elections. And they must listen to the people of this country. We are demanding unshakably a forensic audit, not for the purposes of us alone, but for the purposes of ensuring that there's a credibility in the conduct of the elections come 7th December. We are left with barely 3 months together. Look, it will shock viewers to know that these are the findings the NDC gave to the Electoral Commission. 243,500 previous transfers illegally added. They transferred it illegally added to the 2024 register. You think we should sit down and allow over 240,540 transfers that were done previously to be added to the current register? Which political parties does that? And we are asking them for accountability. We are asking them for forensic audit. Your image is in tatters as we talk now. People don't trust the Electoral Commission, especially when the Electoral Commission is infested with hardliners, MPP card-bearing members. We should go and sleep. We are not going to do that, because we have told the people of this country that we are going to win the elections at the polling station. We are not going to go to any court. And this message must also go to the judiciary. The judiciary should be seen talking. I've heard the Chief Justice making comments on national issue. Why is he not interested? Why is the judiciary not talking? Why are the chiefs not talking? Why are our religious people not talking? Why are the people of this country quiet?
Yeah.
Look, 15,000 unidentifiable voter transfer has been added. And you see, if you are going to transfer my vote, if I registered at point A, polling station A, there should be a source. This 15,000, there's no source of where they were registered. Where were they previously registered? You should know that team registered at GBC 1, is that not it? So that when you are doing I can trace the source. The 15,000 plus we identify as no source. Are they telling us the illegally registered, and with the vanishing of the registration machines, this was what they did. Look, 3,997 deleted from the 2024 voters register. We sent this to them. I'm not saying it here. We've given it to them.
You have submitted all of these to the EC.
294,000 transferred from polling stations to other polling stations. We sit down almost 300,000. We're not going to agree, because 40,000 votes led to a president to be declared in this country. Even with the recent pass, there were barely over 500,000, according to what the Electoral
Honorable,
Commission
is that why the banner headline Mahama incites NDC supporters?
If it will mean, if Mahama's advising us would mean that he's inciting for the rotting to be done, Mr. Mahama, keep inciting us. We'll allow the right thing to be done. Have you heard me, Mr. President? If incitement would mean that the right thing should be done to ensure peace, credibility, free and fair election, Mr. Mahama, incite us, and we are going to embark on the demonstration on the 17th of September across the country. We are asking all our supporters, it is not about NDs. Let's get this thing very clear. It's about the sanctity. It's about the free and fair. It's about peace. It's about credibility. It's about the fact that all able people who cast their votes should be counted to the last ballot, and no one should use any maneuvering under any circumstance to ensure that the wrong people are declared. We wouldn't not allow peace to prevail until the right.
Thank you very much, Honorable. That's your opening remark.
We are not going to. We are going on the because we discussed this with them last Friday.
Right.
At IPAC, we discussed with them.
Right.
We told them that
this has been submitted to the EC, and you expect action to be taken on them.
To do the forensic audit.
Let's wait and have the EC make any move on that, and we'll come back to discuss
it. Warn them out there. And if G Mensa, this is
Thank
the
you very
only
much.
time
Let me bring on Henry. Henry Asante
It's
speaks
not
for
Henry
the
should also talk.
movement for
All the
change.
political parties should talk. It's not an NPC.
Honorable, you're taking it away from me. Honorable, you're taking it away from me. Let me invite Henry.
Henry,
you're welcome. You're welcome. Please, what's on your mind this morning?
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable.
These are the figures.
Sure, let's get Henry.
Honorable, you know what? Let me frank with you. I'm very much enthused about the posture of Honorable this morning. Quite interesting. It's quite good. Yeah.
It's so annoying.
Hold your breath, sir. You know what baffles me? I recall in 2017.
It's a public document.
I was the director of election for my PSC, Dr. Mahama.
Right.
I happened to be very, very vocal and very vociferous on the era of Madam Charlotte Osei. If you care to know, I remember we held a press conference, okay, under the tutelage of the then vociferous group, the AFAG group in those days. I was the vice chairman of AFAG, and the attack on Mrs. Charlotte Osei was unprecedented, okay? We counted her to be an entity in the system with a lot of allegations, okay? Unsubstantiated ones then. I quite remember, I made a very important point here that these things that they found out, these figures, I quite remember in a discussion with Mr. Serbo, one of the bosses, he explained certain points to us. It's left for us to take it or leave it. According to them, the transfers. You see, every police station is supposed to have about 800 people at a go, okay? So that and then a police station registered more than 800, okay? And they don't want to have congestion in any police station. So the excess number of people, let's say if this GBC police station, all right, we registered here, then they will break them down. If about 2,000 people registered here, they break them down into police station A, B, C, and D in that order, according to what Srebo was telling me. But you see, be it as it may, so that there will be no congestion at one police station, but it's within the same enclave. Be it as it may, if what he's saying is anything to go by, I think the parties must be privy to all these things. Where is the source, as he rightly pointed out? Anything shorter than that will create a lot of tension within the mindset of the people. I totally agree with him. But you see, I will appeal to you. Let us use calmness, all right, to resolve the issue. The EC is a body that is supposed to have been mandated to take over the course of our, election. But that does not guarantee any attempt to massage the system. People talk about peace, peace, peace. What is peace? Peace is not just the absence of war. To me, peace is not the absence of war. Anytime there is an underlying factors, okay, that try to massage a system, it will lead to chaos and anarchy. This is what we try to avoid. So in trying to avoid that, the EC must be seen and act without any act of fear or favor. I'm surprised the Daily Guide is making this comment. Where was the Daily Guide in 2016, 2017? The Daily Guide took on Madame Charlotte Osei and made her look so stupid, excuse my language, in quotes, stupidly stupid, as if she was not human. This posture by the political parties is very, let's be very frank and sincere.
But does it worry you, or does it surprise you somehow that there seems to be a certain side taking with the EC, and the EC does no wrong when whichever government is in power, whether the NDC or the NPP?
It's not surprising to me. Do you know why it has happened so? We need to have a constitutional amendment.
Okay.
On especially the EC issue. Who appointed the chairman of the EC? The chair? Who appointed? It's the presidency, isn't it? So, will you appoint your enemy to chair such a venture? There must be a paradigm shift.
But do they have to be enemies or lovers?
Well, whatever. Connotations. Whatever word you use. You would naturally go for somebody.
What should matter to us is whether they can be fair and biased and not take sides necessarily.
Naturally, you wouldn't appoint somebody who will make you lose your election. Would you do that?
Can the EC make you lose your election?
Oh my goodness.
I thought you said they are one at the polling station.
Oh my goodness. You see, they are one at the polling station, but don't forget it's human that massage systems, don't we? That is why he told us to be very careful at the polling stations, isn't it? Who compromised it at the polling station? Let me tell you something. I happened to be in when the biometric machine for election happened in 2008 elections. When they brought it, I was happy to be there. One day we did a test movement on that probe. You know what we did? I quite remember I went with my youth organizer, Emmanuel Wilson. They asked us to come and give a test proof to the machine, efficacy of the machine. Then when I was going, I took Wilson's ID card. Intentionally. I took his ID card and gave mine to him, the voter ID card. I got there, the first process, they checked the name Emmanuel Wilson. I'm not Emmanuel Wilson, I'm Henry Asante. I went through the process. The second space, they verified it. Okay? Out of nothing. It said verified. Would you believe this? It verified me.
Was it done to expose a certain lapse in the system, or
They
it was,
want us to
it was done to make the EC look incompetent?
No, they were trying to educate us on the usage. You understand? They were trying to educate us on the usage. And whatever happened, I was surprised to the marrow. So when I went to the polling the last point, I told the guy, look at it, I don't know what is wrong. You guys, I'm not with Emmanuel Wilson. But it has verified me. What is wrong?
Have you been satisfactorily somehow, have you been satisfied with the subsequent actions taken to mitigate or to ensure that it's not the case anymore?
Absolutely. That decision that I took, or that test case that I took, led to a great reformation probably in the system. The engineers came around to find out what exactly it was.
Okay.
Finally, look, there's one thing that we need to look at. When you are going to vote, if you observe, you are, let's say you are my polling agent, okay? You are a bit far from where the verification machine is. All that you hear is verified, isn't it?
Yes.
How do you know if it is verified? You, the polling agent, how would you know? I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yeah.
It's the EC official who's sitting down.
Yes.
And he comes, verified. You, the polling agent, there's a barricade. You are far. You're not nearer. If you happen to be my friend, okay, and I agree that verify, go and vote, who will stop you?
But your ballot has a certain photograph of yourself on it. And the agents are supposed to check if indeed.
Hold on. Where are the agents standing? Where are they? Are they near the machine?
But they have access to your photo with the document they have. And so if you are there and they know you are not the one they can see, because you tell them your name anyway.
Hold on. You're not getting the point. You're not getting the point. At the point of voting.
Yes.
All right? The electoral officer is seated here.
Yes.
There's a long queue here. Where is the polling agent standing?
To verify you are the one at the...
Is it part of the verification? The polling agent?
Well, it's the EC.
It's the EC. Excellent. And then that is where I'm telling that it can be compromised. There's that possibility.
So what are you suggesting?
What I'm suggesting is that, in order not to cause chaos and anarchy, all right?
Yes.
How do you get perfection to this system? That's a very critical question. So you are telling me that the EC is mandated to do the right things, isn't it? But in doing the right thing, naturally, it's a human entity. It's a human endeavor. We need to be very proactive to make sure that if we are going to increase the volume of the verification machine, okay, it should increase to the hearing of the polling agents. That is undertone. And you are the only person who said I'll be verified. The polling agent will not be able to know whether it's verified or not. These are very critical questions that we underestimate them. I have been a polling agent. I've been a director of election. So many issues, so many factors go into play. Homeboy, let us not play with what the EC can do at any given time. So I totally agree with him. They must make sure that these questions they put up, we are all going to support it. If the EC do not give answers, I will appeal to all the political parties in opposition to come together, okay? Hold aloof the banner of unity so that the right things will be. Otherwise...
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The Speaker of Parliament has made a certain call or comment, warning to us all, but more direct to government in the way we're toying with fire, in his words. Let me just bring you. We're just playing with fire, says Speaker Bagbin, as he accuses government of preventing EC from being a free, fair referee. Is government doing that? Honorable Awinterim.
You see, government's posture, and I've often said the content of your character would expose your real human being and who you are. We're in this country. The social media is replete with utterances, with the conduct of the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces. The whole president, who should be ensuring that he hands over peacefully and ensure that the processes of election are free and fair, saying that you are sitting on the taxpayers' money. You are sitting on the power of the people, power entrusted to you. It's not a bona fide power, and it's not power by inheritance. It is power that people release to you that through their inalienable right, and you tell them that you are going to hand over to your successor.
Doesn't it occur to you somehow, Honorable, that perhaps Speaker Bagbin may be expressing a certain fear he holds and not necessarily reflective of the mood of the nation.
Yeah, he would hold that fear because we all know that Bagbin is a colossus in terms of our political processes starting from 92 up to now. We know, all of us, we don't need to go into both of them, their credentials. He has sat in the same parliament with the president to do. People know the president's real character, but they are pretending. And I've said it over and over that, look, as we sit today, His Excellency the President would prefer that his government, if he's to hand over to John Dramani Mahama, this government, the administration should fall into abyss. He would prefer even a coup d'etat than to hand over to the government because of
isn't that very extreme?
It's not. When I finish, you understand me. His conduct, his behavior, the fact that he's even. His appointees, cabinet ministers like Brian Achampon and other people are singing the same song in different tunes and in different angle, shows that they are buying into it. We don't know what the president is sitting on. That constantly tells us that a country whose economic situation is a junk, unemployment at its high, every aspect of this country has been destroyed by himself. He's saying that he's going to do everything in his power to hand over. If you keep doing that, you know what? You are subtle.
And elements within government has taken the time to explain and also calmness in that utterances.
You are subtly inciting the people against the right-thinking people of this country. And we know how vulnerable the situation, how there are tensions. The president should be an oasis of what? Peace, an oasis of harmony, an oasis of togetherness, someone who should be seen. Look, in 2008, Henry will bear me out. President Kufuor said that whosoever that wins election, he won over to. Rawlings, who was a dictator president, quote unquote, handed over to the people, because that is what the people wanted. When power is entrusted to you, it's not an inheritance. It's not your bona fide property. You do not determine. It's the people of this country who give it the power, determine who they should hand over their power to the next one.
Thank you.
To carry them from one state to the other. So if Babin is sitting there talking about these things, Babin knows what he's talking about. Babin is privy to national security reports. He's privy to how elections and utterances have destroyed countries across this world. Utterances from the certain president have led people to die. Look at the 8 people who died in Tichiman. Look at the Yawansu violence. What did the president say? As a father of the nation, he has not even gone to empathize with the people who lost their children. The president won this election based on the death and the blood of people in this country. And he hasn't said anything. Yet this same president could go.
He won based on the votes.
The president could go and take George Floyd funeral from the U.S., come here, put on black kente, and be mourning when they ask him that he was related to them and so on. If you can do that to an American, and your own children who voted for you cannot do that, what sort of president are you? You have no business leading the country.
Henry, let me bring Henry in on this same subject. Is Speaker Bagbin justified in that claim that government is not making EC play fair?
It's subject to critical outlook. I'm sure Babin might have said it's not out of conviction, but probably he knows what he's talking about. Okay, to buttress that fact.
Sure.
Let me give a typical example. When it's not for nothing, okay, that in the Queen's language they say power corrupt and absolute
power corrupt. Absolutely.
It makes sense. It goes deep into sense making. In Nicaragua, they once had a president, Noriega, who never ever thought the power will get out of his hands. Okay? There was an election, and he tried to massage the system. Then came the adage, the anger of the masses, fear no barrel of the gun. Absolutely.
Yes.
The anger of the masses, fear no barrel of the gun. What happened?
You don't even fear nuclear weapons.
Absolutely.
And atomic energy.
Absolutely. So don't assume you are in power, so you can dictate and control. It will never happen. Look, when Noriega thought all was over, he saw a crowd. He ordered his soldiers to shoot. The more they fire, the more the people come. You know what the soldiers did? They hung up and ran away. Because the more you fire, you see your mother on the ground, bleeding. You see your brother on the ground. They turned their arms on Noriega, captured him, all right, flew him in air, hung up in air on a helicopter across the country. Yes, there you see where power of people emanates from. Recently, in Sri Lanka, you saw what happened. We all saw what happened in Sri Lanka. Am I right? You saw the anger of the masses. So when you're in power, don't assume. Bangladesh, exactly. Don't assume you can do whatever you like. Look, the masses are quiet, but when the masses get angry, oh boy, look, you'll be asking the F to break apart for you to go, and it will never do so.
Regret for that mistake you ever did.
So you see, my president, I respect him so much. He came in a very humble, lumps lifestyle. This is not Nana Akufo-Addo I knew of years, frankly speaking. This was a man who was very peaceful, very adhesive, and up to date. I know, personally, we've been with him.
Henry, let me pick your brains on this. In that same reportage, Speaker Bagbin has said we don't want to see military moving around during elections. Haven't we always had the military going around when we're voting or when we're out there to elect a president?
That to me might be a bit on the descendancy, in that we have to look at the security forces. All right? What is the strength of our security?
Yes.
Naturally, no country will tell you that for security reasons. All right? That is why the budget for security is never
undisclosed.
It's not disclosed for special purposes. Now, if it's going to be only the police, when we were young, the police were a force.
Yes.
Police was a force.
Yes.
Now it's a what? A service.
A service.
Because they want to see the relationship between the police and the citizenry. Now, if they're going to bring in the forces, armed forces, or whatever it is, why so? Probably to beef up security. To beef up security. But it's not only the armed forces. They bring in the fire service personnel, the custom exercise, all these security agencies. So to single out the military, probably he is looking at it from an angle where the posture alone, okay, can put fear into many hearts. But I don't think the military will go to that extent. Don't also forget that the president is the commander-in-chief. He says that it be, and it is. But again, I will reiterate that he should never even dream of that. Because some of us, personally, I would not care to die. In any case, I don't care to die. Do you know why?
Tell me.
Death is a necessary end. Just Shakespeare.
Yeah.
It will come when it will come. I prefer to be a hero in death than to be a villain surviving. Okay? If we want to say, people sacrifice their life for you and I to be here. Some people, when they were fighting the British, people died. Didn't they die? People died for you and I to be here. But why is it that we don't want to sacrifice for the next generation? If we don't sacrifice, the generation will continue to suffer. There's going to be the gap between the haves and the have-nots. So naturally, I side with Babin on these issues, but to talk about the military tendencies, I think there should be level-headedness, so that the military, they are not that silly, they wouldn't be that stupid to just obey.
Right.
It will get to a time. Noriega, when he ordered for the shooting, they turned it on him.
Yes.
They turned acts on him, Noriega himself right away. So probably that's the little I can say for
Right. Thank you very much. We're moving on next.
Just a comment.
Yes.
You see, when you look at the military, no professional military fellow will shoot into his own people.
No, he will never do that.
They are not trained to do so.
They won't do it because, look, all of us here, I have my friends there, my children there, my relatives. They can't look in my face and shoot.
They won't do that.
It is the MPP hoodlums that have been recruited into the military. They are the people leading that. No, look.
Isn't that an allegation?
Oh, my brother, are we not part of the society?
We are, but some of these.
No, but we know them. I know them from my constituency. I know them. Are you saying that we don't know ourselves? I don't know that if you're an MPP vigilante, I don't know you in your specs. I know you. I know him. And if I see you entering the military, I know that you are the one who was terrorizing when you are in the military. Don't we know ourselves? Were we the people who said that is it double should tell us that he was selling phones at Circle and he heard about recruitment into the national security, and he came and they picked him, and he can order professional police take AK-47 them, release bullets. We're the people, they told us.
Yeah.
And you see, they brag. Sometimes afterwards, they come on social media and saying that this was the benefit that they got from being vigilantes in MPP.
I see.
You know the recruitment. Look, I've been there. I've been a member of parliament. I know how recruitment is done. And I was a member of the Defense and Interior Committee. Today, tell me what has been the adverse in the papers to tell us people are being recruited. And yet the place is choked. Look, you have friends, you have classmates, talk to the soldiers, they will tell you. You understand? So it is not just about Bagbin saying that, but the way they've infiltrated the security. especially the soldiers, and our fear, morbid fear for the army is what Bagbin is talking about. Because when you see a soldier man, you don't dare.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Understand?
Not at
all.
all.
So his fears are justified, and we don't necessarily need them, because what people can go and cast their votes and go and sit down. Why would you need the military? Look at what the military did in the 2020 election by shooting into people. We still want people to die. A voting process must be war.
The last
war.
Press release from the army mentioned how if they're called upon by the police to assist,
no one says that
so,
when there's trouble, they should not be called. That's not the issue. That's not the gravamen of the issue. We haven't talked about that.
Sure.
The issue is that we don't want them. Their presence intimidates voters. They also vote.
Right.
Go and vote.
Let's move on. Let's move on. Honorable, we don't have so much time today, so let's try and do justice to the issues we have on our plate. Now, the one that will not go away and seem to have everybody else implicated but itself is Galamsey. Galamsey seems to have everybody implicated but itself. The search for gold has become the reason why slowly we are killing ourselves. Well, indirectly, but we are. Now, we're only counting the cost because we can see the water bodies, and because we depend so much on water, we seem to be sounding alarm bells. But what we have not paid attention to is the cost on infrastructure. Yesterday, we released a raw footage of how Galamsey is, whether deliberately or inadvertently, slowing down a national infrastructure. And that's the video on there. Let's watch briefly, and then we'll come to talk about counting the cost on Galamsey. This is a 500 million euro project between Takoradi Port and Huni Valley, right? And whenever they make 100 meters coverage, Galamseyers dig around it. So they have to come back on themselves to reinforce it. And what you see is the real line. Look at how close Galamsey is to it. Again, you have what is a cocoa farm, over 30-acre cocoa farm, all chopped down to make way for Galamsey. This is how devastated the land is. And the men you see in there are men who are hard at work, not building the rail, but digging the land close to the rail so that this project, the integrity of the project is compromised. But we don't talk about the cost of that. And the fact that the nation is broke, and there's no money, and we have taken out either a grant or a loan to build this infrastructure to enhance our own natural resource advancement. And we're doing this to it. This is an unedited video. It's raw. Nobody has done anything to this video. Raw footage. So what you see is the graphic detail of the destruction our search for gold and our love for money is doing to us. Henry, I bring you in on this.
No, it's, I hope and believe that the presidency will be watching this. I'm not talking about the president. I'm talking about the presidency as a whole. Because I said it here some time ago that I recall my president putting his job on the line. That if he's not able,
it is still on the line.
Yep, absolutely.
Has he taken it off the line?
Well, he made
it is still on the line.
He made a promise. Okay, did he or he did he not?
That's a good one.
What it will take to get it off the line, we have not provided yet. So it's still on the line.
That is exactly what I'm saying. You know, he made a promise to the whole world, not to Ghana. This is on the internet. Okay, he made to the whole world that he's putting his job on the line. If he's not able to stop Galamsey, okay, now it's rather keep escalating day in and day out. I went to Takoradi, the Biposo Ridge. Homeboy, you get there and you ask yourself.
This is from Biposo.
Thank you. God bless you. God bless you. So ask myself, is that Takoradi of old? Is that a Biposo of old between Cape Coast and Takoradi? In those days, well, even when you're driving, you can see fishes swimming. You see fishes from afar. Today you get there and we have a president. You see, I just don't know how to describe our president. Let me be frank with you. I'm sorry if I'm sounding a bit disrespectful, but I believe sincerely that if the president will feel the way I'm feeling, probably he should have stepped down. Because he has failed in that direction. Absolutely. Nobody asked him to put his job on the line if he's not able to stop Galamsey. But the typical question is, has he been able to stop it? It's rather escalating. So if he's not hearing, if he's not seeing, he's not hearing these things, and look at the danger. Look at the danger. Railway lines.
And you know, between the buffer for the line between the line and the space around it, there should be a 25 meter on each side. But Galamsey has broken into, killed the 25, reduced it to 0.
You see, these things, to me, look, in any country where people are serious, all right, serious-minded people, there should be a massive demonstration. Okay, I believe in revolution. I don't believe in radical revolution, but I believe in civil revolution.
Right.
How do you undertake a civil revolution? These are going on, and everybody's watching, and we are happy that it is happening. Who is generating it? What will it take? The vice president told us they brought drones, isn't it? Drones for hospital distributions. Okay, so are you telling me the military cannot be equipped just with the twinkle of an eye? Fly from here to Takoradi. We have a base.
We've engaged the military. We brought Galamstop, Vanguard, Halt, all of them.
Operation calm down, whatever they are. At the end of the day, they themselves become compromised because the people in charge. Okay, if you recall, Professor Frimpong Boatin, he was made a sector commissioner, isn't it? To look into it. Did you read the report? Frimpong Boatin's report? I wish you had. It was explicit. The man, after such a tedious work, brought a report to the chief of staff. Copy to the president. Look at the way they treated him. He implicated many of the people in the office. He named them. The names that he gave were so explicit. To make his job very clear that what he's saying, you know what he's saying. It is written in black and white.
Yes.
He gave it to the presidency, and at the end of the day, he became a victim. Okay? They have to sack him.
Right.
When killed him, told him that he has stolen 250 excavators. The man was asking, if I take one excavator, where am I going to kill it?
So, Henry, before I bring Honorable Awinchirim to also pick his brains on the video, let's actually go and listen to the video itself. It's a raw footage, unedited, so the voice you hear is the one who recorded it, commenting on the video. Let's take the video.
Top of the travel truck we were traveling on. This is the standard gauge rail line between Takoradi and Koni Valley. But on the sides of it, an interesting development. Whereas we're saying Galamsey is a thing of the past, please look at this and tell me what exactly you think. They have their washing equipment, and these men are very busy at work doing their Galamsey. I came here with the assembly member for the area, and he tells me that indeed it is a battle not being won. Perhaps we may call it a battle for the Lord. That man you see out there is not a farmer. He's a Galamseyer busy at work doing Galamsey. It is really very, very sad. This activity is not stopping now, and it won't stop today. Galamsey will continue to be a menace so long as people decide not to do anything.
All right, thank you very much for staying with us. While the discussions are ongoing, we have been joined by Mohammed Awal. He speaks for the NPP, and he's explained why he's so late. Mohammed Awal, sorry about that, blocking of your path to the studio, but you are here. That's what matters to us. Yeah. We're continuing from where you just met us, and before I let you on, maybe just gone was a Galamsey video recorded somewhere in the western region, and whereas we count the cost on water and other subjects, what we have perhaps not paid attention to is the cost on national infrastructure, and that's what we just looked at. I'll bring Honorable Timothy on, since he's seen the video. I'm sure while he's addressing the video, you'll have the benefit of the video playing, so at least we hear what you also have to say as far as Galamsey is concerned. Honorable.
Yes. You see, when I saw the video, and I think that this video and other videos done by your colleague journalists in other stations should be put together and shown on every media to the people of this country. And they should see the assault on our environment and the consequence of that assault. You understand? Even the Ukraine-Russian war, where bombs are dropped, we don't see this. The destruction is colossal. Under a president who has sworn to be a guardian of the resources of this country, sit down and you appointed a professor who afterwards gave you a meticulous report, and your Attorney General comes out, issue a statement rubbishing the entire report, when names were mentioned, it is difficult to fight a crime when your friends and family are part and parcel of that crime. When government appointees who have a responsibility to protect this are involved, that is the challenge of the government. It's not about this small boys doing the galamsey. It's the involvement of government appointees in this thing, taking concessions. That is the issue that is facing the government. And they must look, my brother, we were in this country when the colonial government invaded here. Even the colonial government, with their quest to loot our resources, left forest reserves for us. Can you imagine the British, the white people? They left forest reserves for us. We said we wanted independence. One of the Ghanaians would take the governance of the state. We have given it to Ghanaians, and this is the state they've given us. They've destroyed to the extent that even the white man is so much worried, and he does not even Satan himself is worried. Environment is our life. It cuts across water. Must I go about regurgitating the effects on pregnant women and so on, people dying and so on? Must I go on? But the fact is that the president himself is in denial of what is happening. So if the president is in denial, even the Afghanistan war, where there were B-52 bombers, they could not create such areas. And we are sitting there, we are looking, and the president told us that he has put his presidency online. In other areas, he should have been resigning long time. He has failed the people.
His presidency is still on the line.
He's still on the line, and he wants to hand over to his mate.
Has the president taken his presidency on the line? Is he still not on the line?
No, he's still on the line.
He's still on the line? Yes. Let me bring you on, Awal. We have 4 minutes to go.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much for the opportunity. Good morning to our cherished viewers, and I must apologize for coming in late because of some... this is the first time I am coming in late. Yes. I come and wait until the program even starts. So yes, my uncle is from Afrafanto. There is something that I will want to quote from Alan Chiramanti. He said, we are becoming nation of talkers.
NATO.
Exactly. We are in election year. 3 months to elections. These distractions didn't start yesterday. Started as far as 2012, 2013, 2014. And it has gotten to where it has gotten to. We are in election year. We need to talk about solutions now.
You see this video?
Yes.
Yeah. This video is not even a month old.
I get it. I'm saying
this is over a 30-acre cocoa.
We are not talking about. We're not talking about only this video, because if you check, there are other damning videos that are even more than this one. That's why I'm saying that.
Does that make it okay then?
No, I'm saying the Galamsey menace has become a problem for this country, and it didn't become the problem just within the last 7 years. It was the reason when the president came in 2017, he had to ban small-scale mining, legitimate small-scale mining for 2 years, because it escalated at that time. Ghanaians, the media.
But it hasn't decreased.
I'm saying that the media at that time were calling on the president to act. And in 2017, there was a 2 years. There was a 2 years ban. Within that 2 years ban, we saw our water bodies were becoming clearer. But you see, you cannot do away with mining in this country, because when you go to areas that they do the mines. I'm coming. If you give me the opportunity, I'm saying that because you said there is no time. So I'm saying that within the 2 years that we banned the Galamsey, not Galamsey, because Galamsey is illegal. Even the small-scale miners who you were saying that we were supposed not to really 100 meters, not even 50 meters, 100 meters from the river bodies. That is the law, that they should not even mine 100 meters to the water bodies. When the ban was initiated or instituted in 2017, between 2017 and 2018, later part of 2018 to 2019, we saw improvements. But unfortunately, towns like Takwa, Manson Kwanta, Manson became ghost towns, because a lot of the people there, their livelihood is on mining. So the government has to come back, because whilst the ban was in effect, they were sent to UMAT. 4,000 miners were sent to UMAT to be trained on responsible mining. They came back in 2019. In 2020, when we started the campaign
Dr. Tony Iben and Kwaku Buahin went to those areas and told them to vote for the NDC so that they can continue and do Galamsey. We have the videos. And that was how the problem started.
Your PC has said nothing less than what you
I'm talking about 2020. Dr. Tony Iben from Takwa.
Yeah, but in 2024,
this is someone who comes from Takwa.
In 2024, your member of parliament vying to go to parliament has told people that even if the soldiers come there, they should beat them and kill them. Because they cannot stop them from mining. So it is their right.
So let me tell you.
I've just said that
let me tell you the solutions we have. I am telling you that this is what I'm telling you. This government started something. They trained them, moved them back. Then you had the opposition going there to tell them, go and mine.
Since you sent them, why don't you take charge and make sure they do the right thing?
Why won't you let me land?
No, because where we're going
I will land with solutions, because I will not lament as they sit here to lament. I will like with a solution. With a solution that Dr. Baumia is proposing. We started with a ban. We saw some improvement. Then later, when they went there, we started to do the Galam stop. It didn't really work out the way we wanted it. Then we did the Operation Halt, where we were burning excavators all over.
Where did that end?
It also didn't end well. So now, what we're saying is that from the hindsight, from what we have learned the last 7 years, what we will do is that on page 195 of our manifesto, we're saying that, Dr. Bamia is saying that, let's ban prospecting licensing. No one will be given any license to prospect. That is one. Two is that the geological survey will be given the opportunity to do all the surveys. Then they will give it to the community. The community will be handed over the concession so that it will be community mining. If the chief is involved, the opinion leaders are involved, they will not destroy their water. Because a lot of the people who go there to destroy the water are people coming from outside.
Thank you.
Then we'll have Minerals Development Bank, which will bring gold catches. So we will ban this chamfine so that they will not go and destroy the water.
This is what I will say thank you to Honorable Timothy Awuntirim Atabuade, who speaks for the NDC. Henry Asante speaks for the Movement for Change Afafanto. They call themselves, and we have Muhammad Awal, who joined us very late, yet won't let me wrap and go away. My name is Darrell Alan Tego. This has been Headline. It's been fantastic being with you. Let me hand over to Jay Gabra.
Okay, that was very, very fast. Thank you so much, Alan. So that was the headline segment. And right now, we are doing something special to all of you who are celebrating your birthdays out there. September is one of the finest months. In fact, I'm a September born myself, so September is the best month in the whole year, the whole entire year. So happy belated birthday to myself, Nana Ikiaba, Santaba. There's also Julia Kwache. Araba Money, happy birthday to you as well. And this one is a special dedication going out to Mama Africa, the World Ghana and Culture Ambassador appointed by the National Commission on Culture under the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture. May you continue to serve Ghana as you promote made-in-Ghana products and domestic tourism. This is coming from Kofiata Kagrakusi. He's the Deputy Director, Domestic Marketing, Ghana Tourism Authority. And to all of you celebrating your birthdays today, happy birthday to you.
I am out. It is streaming live across our social media handles. If you're on YouTube, you can watch us at the GBC Ghana. Wherever you are in the world, you can watch us on DSTV channel 278. And from the headlines, we dive into a conversation about state-owned enterprises and how they are managed. Now, the State Interest and Governance Authority, SIGA, is marking its 5th anniversary in existence. And the occasion seeks to reflect SIGA's journey, showcase its achievements, and reinforce its commitment in recognition of this milestone. The authority has organized a series of events to commemorate this anniversary, culminating in the annual stakeholder conference. And they're telling us more about this occasion and some of the work that they have done in the build-up to this anniversary. In the studio this morning, on my immediate left, is Mr. Stephen Esiedu, Acting General Manager Operations. Good morning, Mr. Esiedu. Welcome to the show. Thank you. And to Mr. Esiedu's left is Mr. Eric Bonsu. He is Head of Division, Performance Monitoring and Evaluation. Mr. Eric Ejabin Bonsu. Good morning. Welcome to the show. Thank you. Great. Send us your thoughts and comments about if you have any questions, you know, state-owned enterprises, how are they run, and SIGA, what they have done to mark up this anniversary. Let me begin with you, Mr. Esiedu. Congratulations on the anniversary, by the way, and tell us, what has the build-up to the anniversary been like?
Thank you very much for having us this morning. I want to say a good morning to your viewers, and to say that SIGA is 5 years this year, and over a 5-year period, a number of activities have been done in furtherance of the objective or the dictate of the SIGA Act, Act 990. Okay. So this year we planned a number of activities, and one of them is the staff. First, we decided to engage our staff, so we had our staff jogging to bond, which we do every year, but this time around it was with a different touch. It was an anniversary jogging to bond where we go in and compete in games and other sporting activities as a way of, you know, fostering, you know, team bonding and all that. So that was done earlier. We also have had a moment with the editors. So we invited editors to come into SIGA. We open our doors to them to interact with them on the many things that SIGA has been doing over the 5 years. And we also charge them to assist us disseminate some of the things we've done.
These are news editors, you mean?
These news editors. And also become ambassadors for, you know, the work of SIGA, because if SOEs are doing well and are turning profits and are returning dividends to the state, then certainly the state will have the needed resources to embark on, you know, various developmental projects. So we did that. And we have the next activity is our annual stakeholder engagement, where we meet with, you know, the presidency and the central government. We meet with all sector ministers. We meet with all CEOs, deputies, and board chairs of our specified entities. And at that, you know, retreat, we discuss the major findings from our performance contracts that we signed with them, our evaluation reports, and where we found gaps that we need them to improve, and where we found opportunities that we need to work together to, you know, expand. And then, of course, we also give them the opportunity to give us feedback, you know, on what they think we can do better. And then together with their sector ministers, you know, so for a particular sector, say Agric, the entities under Agric and their sector minister are to go and look at the issues identified and come to us at the same forum with their recommendations to inform policy and other government decisions.
I'll come back to you on the milestone chalked and, you know, the future of SIGA, because I know state-owned enterprises, the public always have questions about how they are run. But let me go to Mr. Ejabeng now. What is the core mandates that SIGA is supposed to do, and how has it been?
Okay, thank you very much. So SIGA, as set out by Section 3 of the SIGA Act, is supposed to promote within the framework of government policy the efficient and, where applicable, profitable operations of specified entities. Now, specified entities is the nomenclature that comprises of all state-owned enterprises, SOEs, and then other state entities. These are the entities which are regulatory bodies, the authorities, the commissions, and then joint venture companies, entities that government owns in partnership with the private sector. So all these three categories of entities have been put together under a new nomenclature called specified entities. So the role of SIGA is to ensure that these entities are efficient and are profitable. And SIGA is supposed to do this by ensuring that they promote good and sound corporate governance and ensure also that they pay dividends to the state and also support the economic growth of the economy. So this is what SIGA basically do. And there are a number of tools that we use to ensure that we oversight these entities. And one of them, like Stephen said, is the administration of the performance contracts, which we sign with all the specified entities with performance indicators and targets that the entities are supposed to adhere to. And we monitor them quarterly and semi-annually. And at the end of every year, we evaluate and give feedback.
Right.
That is one of the
so
things.
So you do a lot of work before they even appear at the Public Accounts Committee and all that.
Exactly.
And I'm sure you're proud if they go and skate and nothing happens.
Exactly. Exactly. It shows the work that we are doing, the marginal gains that we are making from our oversight activities.
Okay, Mr. Siedu, some would say, why should we celebrate SIGA? 5 years, the state institutions or state enterprises, are they doing well? You hear about funding problems, you hear about, you know, how they are run overall administratively, bureaucratic systems. What's been happening with SIGAs overseeing them?
Okay, so the setting up of SIGA, you know, came about as a result of these issues you just mentioned. The fact that the entities are not doing well, there are bureaucracies, there are governance challenges. You know, the World Bank in 2015, together with the Finance Ministry, conducted a study on SOEs and came up with a number of reasons why they are not doing well. And one of their recommendations was they need to set up a single entity, you know, in the form of SIGA to oversight them and to, you know, provide some directions and guidance, you know, to ensure that these entities, you know, depart from their old ways of non-performance and all that and begin to, you know, do well. And I can say that 5 years in a row, we've seen some progress with SIGA coming into being because, like Eric rightly said, the performance contracts that we signed with them, you know, it's been strengthened. You know, now we have expanded indicators. There's monitoring of these, you know, performance contracts. And year on year, there's an evaluation that is done together with the entities where we indicate to them where they are falling short on all of these indicators. And then these entities are assisted to be able to, you know, turn around. Again, if you have observed in the last 3 years, we visited a Public Enterprises League table under the distinguished directions of our sector minister, Honorable Joseph Kujo, the MP for Ifia. You know, the Public Enterprises League table is another accountability tool that we use to, you know, engender healthy competition among our specified entities. So year on year, we publish the league table. And when you see yourself at the bottom, then you know that and not
you need to wake up.
You know, and these are things that we can say SIGA has been able to put in place. Additionally, SIGA, as per the Public Financial Management Act, is required to publish the state ownership report. Now, in the past, entities or public entities have existed in opacity. You hardly know what's happening in these entities. With the coming into being of SIGA, and of course, following from where Finance Ministry, you know, ended, SIGA published the 2021 State Ownership Report, which gives, you know, an account of all state enterprises and other state entities that are under the purview of SIGA. Currently, SIGA oversights 175 entities. As of 2016, only 18 entities were reported in the State Ownership Report. The 2023 State Ownership Report has 147 entities.
And only 18?
No, in 2016 was only 18.
Okay.
But with coming in of SIGA and the support of stakeholders,
they've been able to
increase the number to 147. Now, what does this report do? The State Ownership Report provides detailed accounts of our SOEs and our JVCs and our other state entities. And it's a public document. So the citizens could go on our website and download it. And at a glance, you can tell whether Ghana Gas is doing well, whether CBD is doing well, or, you know, and it is one of the commitments of government to promote accountability and transparency in our public sector space, which didn't used to be there. And these are milestones that SIGA, you know, has been able to put in place to help turn around the stories of our SOEs.
I don't know if you are the landlord in this case.
GBC, the first 10, they were there.
First 10,
we will check and give you.
Okay, definitely. we're safe. So hopefully others emulate from us. But Mr. Isiedu, underperforming ones, technological advancements, how are you reaching out to people to understand the work SIGA is doing, and how are you, empowering those entities to also use new ways of doing things?
So there is this new program called the Performance Improvement Program, PIP, which is currently in place. Now, the purpose of PIP is to look at entities who fall short per the PELT ranking. So the bottom 10 entities, we're supposed to pick them up and have conversations with them to understand the detailed reasons or the underlying factors for their inability to perform.
Right.
Then we design programs to help them. So with PELT, we are able to understand entities that need support so that we can provide that tailor-made support for these entities to be able to improve. Remember, the aim of the tool is not so much to reprimand, but to throw more light on performance, so that where there's a need to provide help and support, we will be able to provide, because our overall game is to ensure that all SCs are improving and contributing to the development of the economy.
Right.
So that is the principal and cardinal aim of these tools. Now, on technology, we are doing a lot within ourselves in SIGA. Our Act mandates us to be able to monitor real time. So at the moment, we are putting in place systems in our authority to ensure that we're able to do real-time monitoring of our specified entities.
Right.
How are we going about this? We're putting in place systems to ensure that we digitalize the operations, from reporting from specified entities to SIGA to analysis. And when we are done with that, we are now going to integrate with all our specified entities so that they just log onto a portal and upload their financial and operational data. That way, reporting is real time and analysis is real time.
Break down the bureaucracy.
And it breaks down all the bureaucracy and all these long processes that it takes for a report to move from one desk to the other. So this is one critical and cardinal area that we are helping to improve in terms of technology.
I'm happy you talked about engaging editors to be able to disseminate information about the work that SIGA is doing. But are there any loopholes in getting that information across board? Do the citizens understand your mandate? And do they demand accountability well from these state-owned enterprises and even from SIGA?
Okay, so it's a very good point you raised, because over the period, what SIGA did per our strategic plan was to first, fill in the positions that were created, because it was a coming together of SEC, the State Enterprise Commission, and then the Diversity Implementation Committee. Now, when you're bringing two cultures together, you are sure that there will be some, difficulties. So our first few years was to transition, and after that, we were able to zoom into the main, objectives of the authority. Now, what has happened is that we wanted to keep our house in order before we engage the media and the public.
Right.
So we didn't do a lot of engagement in the early years. So yes, you're right. Maybe our mandate was not properly understood by, the citizens. But going forward, and that's why we want to use our 5 years to drum home really the focus, the agenda, and the mandate of SIGA, and the need for the citizens to join us to be able to exact accountability and performance from our SOEs.
So it's a collective thing. Let's zoom into the anniversary now. What's happening? What are we expecting? Are there going to be any future objectives set? Is there a lecture? What's the anniversary lineup going to look like?
Okay, so like I already said, year on year, SIGA has the stakeholder engagement, which is an engagement of all the stakeholders I indicated. What's happening starting tomorrow is the annual stakeholder conference, where we're going to be discussing.
That's happening tomorrow?
Starting tomorrow.
Starting
Friday,
tomorrow.
So we would go into the performance of the entities over the 5 years. So we've done a trend analysis of each entity. And we've also done a trend analysis of the sectors. So if you take...
This is from last year on our screen, however, right? What we are watching now is from last year?
It's from last year, yes.
Okay.
So if you take, say, the energy sector, what has been the trend? What are the teething issues in the energy sector? We've identified all of them, teased them out. And at that conference tomorrow and then Friday, we're going to discuss them. The president will be with us tomorrow. He'll be with us on Friday.
Okay.
And the entities are expected to now feedback to the president and to all stakeholders how they intend to address the challenges, and the issues we've identified. And as a collective, together with our sector ministers, come to some agreement as to the next policy direction. And that will form the basis for our performance contract with them for the next year. You know, so once we've agreed on these targets, it forms the basis for negotiations, which starts. We've already started the discussion for negotiations for next year's target. Now, the theme for this year's conference or the anniversary is championing 5 years of championing specified entities growth.
Okay.
You know, the challenges. No, the 5 years of championing specified entities governance and growth.
Okay.
The challenges and the way forward. You know, so that's why I started by saying that we've done a trend analysis. So we are going to dig deeper into this analysis and come up with, you know, some new ways of addressing these challenges.
Sedu, who are we expecting at the conference, Mr. Bonsu, and what else will be happening? Who are your partners that you have been working with?
We have thrown invitation to all the boards and entity heads of all the specified entities. Of course, His Excellency the President is coming in as a special guest of honor. We've thrown invitation to our sector ministers who are key partners in the work that we do. And we also have representatives from our donor partners and our friends from the media and a couple of other people. They form the stakeholder group for which we need to have these conversations about the performance of our specified entities and the way forward.
Right.
And so these are the core of the people who are going to be there.
Where can we find any other information concerning the stakeholder conference and any other activities lined up for SIGA's 5th anniversary?
Okay, so just to add to what Eric said, in addition to the main conference, we also decided that we would have the Public Enterprises League table for 2022 and 2023 all at this event. And one of the achievements of SIGA is that we've been able to close the gaps. You know, before, these awards were coming 2 years late. Now what we've decided to do is to close the gap, even for the SOR. In 1 year, 2024, we've published 2021 SOR, 2022, 2023. Is to close the gap, to make sure that the reports, when they come out, they are current, they are useful, and investors and the Ghanaian, you know, public can make meaningful decisions based on those reports. And the same way, we will have the Public Enterprise League table for 2022 and 2023. So this year, we're going to have two, you know, overall specified entity of the year for 2022 and 2023. And then from next year, we're going to be current on these awards.
You've been working really hard.
Yes,
we talked about technology advancement. So where can we reach SIGA? Are you active on social media, your website?
Yes. Okay. So you can go on our website and have all this information that we're putting out.
Definitely. Thank you for coming, gentlemen. This is all time will allow us. Speaking about SIGA's 5th anniversary, the build-up, what has been done, the PELT project, you know, looking at performance contracts, the challenges will be talked about and dug deeper into and addressed at the 2-day stakeholder conference starting from tomorrow and then Friday. And the president will be in attendance, the sector ministers, you know, stakeholders, donor partners, the chief of staff, all of these people will be in attendance. So go and understand and listen to them and know how SOEs are working. I've been speaking to the acting general manager operations, Mr. Stephen Esiedu, and Mr. Eric Ejabeng Bonsu, head of division performance monitoring and evaluation. Thank you, gentlemen, for your time. I'm LTT Saida Sadiq. There's more on GTV Breakfast shortly. Stay with us.
It's 8K. Hey, wait. You can put it on his tab. This is my man. Good luck.
Mobile radio. We are star 712. It's much phone. I'm on dialing the magic numbers. Star 712. Now welcome to the luckiest. And now with me at home ticket. You can buy for yourself or your loved one.
Mommy, tell mommy who's here.
You're buying for me, right?
Or who else? Let's choose buy tickets for adults.
Love you, boo boo.
So maybe straight to option 4. Now you need to buy tickets worth 50 Ghana to qualify. Yes, you can buy random or prefer ticket. I'm choosing random ticket. Listen, if you buy the random
And so let's settle in for the last segment, the rest of the segments. We are having a conversation on CIMG Sustainability Marketing Summit Africa. I have two beautiful ladies in studio who are going to be telling us about this summit and what it is about and how we can also be part of it. First, I have Faith Lamptey. She's SMSA member. Welcome.
Thank you.
Love your hair.
Thank you so much.
And Phoebe Mahoney, she's SMSA member as well.
Hello.
Love it, love it, love it. You ladies, welcome, welcome, welcome. How's the Wednesday treating you though?
Yeah, it's been all right.
Yeah, Faith, you too. Okay, so I'll begin with you, Faith. Yeah, lead us into it. So, briefly tell us about this summit, Sustainability Marketing Summit Africa. What is it about? Tell us about it. Give us a brief, please.
Okay, basically, Sustainability Marketing Summit Africa is just an initiative that is giving a platform to bring people from different sectors together to discuss sustainability as a whole. So we are looking at, achieving the SDG goals and see the Chartered Institute of Marketing Ghana has brought about this summit to bring different people from different sectors to talk about how businesses and organizations can incorporate sustainability practices into their day-to-day activities, their operations, and even their brand strategies. Because now sustainability has become the new black. And
the new gold too.
And many investors and even consumers are looking to invest and patronize businesses that are driving towards sustainability. So yes, this is just a platform, to bring individuals, like-minded people to come and discuss how businesses and organizations can incorporate sustainable practices into their operations, basically.
Okay. And why is CIMG hosting this event now? Phoebe Mahoney.
Okay, so CIMG actually, so towards last year, the discussion started about the skill gap and how we need to, champion those sustainability discussions here in Ghana, especially in Africa, looking at the sustainability practices and how we can actually communicate it. So during the discussion, we realized that we need that space where marketers are able to learn or are able to also draw insights from the key drivers in the industry to learn how they can actually bring up their sustainability practices, communicate it to consumers, communicate it to investors, so that although they are doing it, we can actually amplify what exactly they are doing in the whole of the country in Africa.
Okay, so I'll throw it back to you. So who would be the stakeholders in this case?
Basically, any sector that have decided to incorporate sustainability into their practices, their brand strategies. So we have those in the banking sector, agriculture, we have the manufacturing as well, even oil and gas these days, energy as well. So basically the summit is open to all businesses and organizations that feel that they want to drive this long-term success in their businesses, and they want to achieve, eco-friendly strategies in their businesses, basically their operations. So it's open to everyone, basically.
Okay, so Phoebe, why is sustainability becoming so important in business, especially here in Africa? Why is everybody rushing towards that?
Okay, it's been a global, not a trend, but it's right now where the climate change and everything has gotten to, it's very crucial, because we look at currently we have these Galamsey issues, we have water issues here in Ghana and all of that. And if you look at the businesses, you look at the manufacturing industries, they are trying to amplify how, although they are producing these materials, they're also amplifying what measures they are taking to control, the waste that comes from their businesses. So in order to amplify this, we are trying to make it very known in Ghana here to say that yes, there are things going on, but to improve upon the planet, and then also the businesses are also able to profit by channeling their attention to what really matters most in protecting the planet.
Okay, can you ladies also share with us some examples of how marketing, you guys are doing this, CIMG is doing this, how marketing can drive sustainability, like practical examples?
Basically, please, the question is how marketing can drive sustainability.
Yes, like can you share some examples with us?
Okay, so we'll be in the summit. Basically, we'll be touching on areas like ethical AIs and even
ethical AI.
Yeah,
what's that? Give us what's that?
We don't want to give too much, so we want those that will come to the summit to have practical takeaways when they are going. So that's why we're urging people to come and join us in this summit. So basically in brand strategies, we are looking at incorporating sustainability practices. For instance, take EcoBank Ghana. They've incorporated eco-friendly practices into even their building. Yeah. So
when you say yeah.
Take for instance when you are entering EcoBank.
Which
the head office, EcoBank head office. When you are entering, you see most of the times because of to save power, they don't use the electronic entrance. So you have to use human energy to push yourself in, and it's also user friendly as well. So from that, they've saved energy. Take another instance, they work in the cloud. They don't use too much papers. You understand? So where marketing comes in is where we are trying to let the world know with brand strategies and brand campaigns that you can do this and still save this. So we eliminate that aspect of waste in most of our operations, basically.
I'm sure we'll get to know a lot more during this conference. So
definitely.
Who will be some of the speakers? Who are some of the speakers people should get excited about?
Okay, so we are looking at having Venan Sondo, who is also from Chains Africa. We are also looking at some key industries from Suka Africa. We are the CEO of Suka Africa. We are also looking at
what Suka Africa? What
that's a company, and then that's one of the people that is championing sustainability here in Ghana and Africa. Yes. All right, and then we'll be having...
So the speakers are on our screens now. Yes. It's like a slide.
Yes, so we have James Sutton, who is present at the summit. We have...
that's who you mentioned earlier, Venan A. Sondo.
Yes.
Okay.
Of Chains Africa.
Okay.
There will be so we have featured presentations from most of these speakers that will be coming on board.
Okay. Is it also going to be like an exciting opportunity for young entrepreneurs to be at this summit? Will they have like business opportunities?
Oh yes, I think that will be possible because we are having these key industry leaders that will be present at the event. We want to create this platform so people can actually network with each other. So if you're an entrepreneur and you're coming to the summit, you're definitely going to meet someone that may be in line with the kind of business you want to promote, and you're able to connect, and then that's how it actually moves from there.
Okay. So when and where is the summit taking place?
Okay, the summit is this Thursday, that's the 12th of September.
That's tomorrow?
Yes, tomorrow.
Okay, 12th September.
And it's taking place at the EcoBank head office.
That's why you use that as an example.
Yes,
right.
That's why we are actually having it there.
Okay, because it's eco-friendly.
Yeah, they've incorporated a lot of eco-friendly practices into their operations.
Okay. And is it going to be a one-day summit? Is it a two-day summit?
Yes, it's a one-day summit.
Okay. Can people join virtually, or you have to be invited?
For this maiden events, we've made it for in person, so we can actually have that networking with the people that will be present.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's an all in-person event for this particular event.
We can't view it online.
The highlights will be out, but then the main event will be in person.
But I'm curious to know, what will the highlights of this summit be for you, Faith?
Basically for me it's how to incorporate eco-friendly practices into brand strategies. Most of the times we are just looking at profit, but we should always remember that profitability also comes with brand loyalty as well. So if most investors see how eco-friendly our practices are, it will help them invest more to save our planet. I mean, we all live in this planet, we are in the society, and we also cater to consumer practices to ensure that a lot of best practices, to make my business even grow bigger.
Okay. Phoebe, how about you? What are the highlights for you?
For me, basic sustainability efforts of companies. You're working in a company, you're a marketer, you're trying to promote the brand as a whole. But then there's another niche where you have to promote by their brand loyalty, as my friend mentioned.
Okay. So, what role do partnerships with AGI, for instance, play in advancing the goals of the summit?
Basically, they are, and for now, they are our knowledge partners, and they are looking at bringing a lot of businesses on board, basically, and they will go a long way actually in broadening the impact of the summits as a whole.
Okay. Concluding remarks. I'll go with you first, Phoebe. Because I've been doing a lot of talking.
All right. What I would say is, just to invite everyone once again to the summit tomorrow.
Okay.
We are trying to bring on board marketing professionals, communication professionals, because they are the key people that communicate, or that what they promote or what they publish is what the consumers would know about. So they drive the story. So I want them to come on board. Let's have this discussion, let's have this discourse, and then see how best we can promote Ghana in the most sustainable way as possible.
Okay. How about you, Faith?
I would like to let business owners and know that imperatively investors and consumers are now looking to support businesses that incorporate these eco-friendly practices into their operations. So this summit is an amazing summit for all businesses, all young entrepreneurs, and even those right now entrepreneurs, organizations, everyone within every sector. I'm urging you to come for the summit. It's just tomorrow, and you can still register. So our website will be out. Can I mention it?
Definitely, yes.
So you can just go to sustainabilitymarketing.org and follow the registration process, and you're good to go. So see you there.
See you there, indeed. I'm sure before you two got on to this team, you did some sort of research. Practically, as a country, where are we when it comes to eco-friendly stuff? Knowing what to do, what not. Are we heading towards there properly? What would you say?
Basically, I think that is why this summit is here, because we have just a few companies incorporating sustainable practices into their operations, and a lot of awareness have not been made or done, that is why we are bringing sustainability marketing. So we are using the marketing platform to create awareness about eco-friendly practices in brand strategies. So basically that is why this summit is here, because right now in the country we are not doing so much, but I'm sure that after the summit
we'll get there. We'll know where to look and what to look out for. How about you, Phoebe?
Exactly.
Doing research, what did you think? Where are we?
I see companies are actually making the efforts, but then it's all about the brand awareness. It's not actually being published, and so you actually go digging to know what they are doing before you realize. Some of them are doing it, but they don't know it is geared towards that side. Do you get me? So it's all about communicating it to create the awareness, and as the awareness is being, broadcasted, more people will actually join on board. So that's where we are headed. There's a skill gap actually, so that you notice that, or no, it's part of the strategy for CIMG to actually bring on board sustainability marketing as a course on its own, so that people are able to study, to know how to promote. You are doing marketing, but then there's that side of marketing that has to help you communicate better. So that's where we are heading to, and so we'll get
Sounds
there.
great and exciting. Thank you, ladies, for coming. We've been having a conversation on sustainability marketing. There's a summit which is happening tomorrow, 12 September, at the EcoBank head office. We didn't say the time, ladies. What time?
It's 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Education, education, education. How you can get more information and how to register if you want to be part of it. Just go to sustainabilitymarketing.org and you can get all the information on there. We've been doing this with Faith Lamte, SMSA member, and Phoebe Mahoney, SMSA member. We'll take a quick break. When we return, we are having a conversation on the annual conference of performing arts, ACPA 2024. See you shortly.
Live from GBC Studio 1, this is the Breakfast Show.
I offer you nothing else, and girl, you don't get any issue. Girl, I go hold you well, and I go do anything that you wish. Me share my love, so don't blame me for it.
Mr. Drew with the vibes as usual, ushering us into our next segment. So the board of the National Theatre of Ghana is launching the annual conference of the Performing Arts, ACPA 2024. We are going to know more about this conference, why it's bringing people together, which kind of people it's bringing together, and why we should attend. In studio is Ni Sape Ashon, his programs manager, National Theatre. He's no stranger to the set. Greetings, Ni. What's up?
Greetings, Valerie.
No, dear, I keep receiving alerts about things happening at the National Theatre. Progress, wow. Yeah. And the number of plays that keep up during the week.
Yeah.
How's the National Theatre doing? Give us the filler.
We're doing well. I mean, the National Theatre is set up to develop and promote the performing arts. So once you focus on the mandate and you get the support that you need, I mean, you have to do it. So that's what we're doing. We're trying to make sure we are promoting and developing the performing arts just as is mandated by law to do. And that's what it's doing. So keeping the focus and then making sure the little resources that we have, we gear that towards the development of the arts. And it's going well.
Okay. Are there any upcoming plays there soon?
Yes. Currently, I think this weekend, Roverman Production is running with I Want to Feed You. And, you know, it's in partnership with the National Theatre. It's all part of promoting and developing the performing arts. We cannot do it alone, so we need private entities to also support in promoting this agenda. So it's doing well. Next week, and end of this month, we have a Ghana Theatre Festival, the usual Ghana Theatre Festival. And this year, we are celebrating the legendary or the matriarch, Ifua Sutherland. We say the matriarch of Ghana Theatre. We are celebrating her. So all the plays that were performed during this Ghana Theatre Festival is in her name and in her honor. So we have Furiwa, Dufa, The Marriage of Anansiwa, and Agro Children's Play. So we have lots of things coming up this September till the end of the year, actually.
Nice. Is there, give us the website again, or a place to go to refresh our minds on where and which place we want to come and see.
So the National Theatre website is www.nationaltheatreghana.gov.gh. nationaltheatre.gov.gh. That's the National Theatre website. And our Facebook page, National Theatre Ghana. And same as Instagram, National Theatre GH.
So on the first, give us a brief of what the ACPA is.
Okay, so a little background to the ACPA. So, you know, if you look at Ghana, over the years, governance has changed in the area of policy. But if you look at the performing arts, you ask yourself what really has changed in terms of policy beyond the academia and, let's say, the structure of the National Theatre building that we see. So we thought it through that we'll create a platform where we would engage industry players, you know, practitioners, or anybody at all in the area of the performing arts. Enormous value in the area of social and economic values. But we don't really see in the area of policy what is being really done in the area of policy to support this industry. So we are creating this platform where all of these industry players will come together, then we can have a discussion to evaluate our capacity and tell the world the value that the performing arts has for Ghana. So that is why the conference was, you know, initiated and came up. And
when was this?
So this is the maiden edition, actually. It's going to take place in October, October 2nd, the conference, and then on the October 3rd, we'll have a recognition night.
October 2nd is the conference.
Yes.
And then 3rd
is the recognition night, where we're going to recognize stalwarts people who have been in the performing arts over the years that we've not mentioned. Some of them, we don't even talk about them at all. So we're going to recognize their works and contribution over the years in the industry.
When we say performing arts, do performing artists need to copyright their work too?
Yes. I mean, so that's why the conference is all there. So we are going to discuss all of these issues, things that matter to the people in the industry, issues about copyright, issues about, you know, funding, issues about how to make a great piece of work, issues about audience development, issues, all the things that, you know, matter in the area of the performing arts, let alone not leaving out the policy aspect. Policy is very key, because policy could be in the area of funding, it could be in the different issues. So what are the policies that we in the industry think we need to, you know, highlight that needs so much concern? And for this conference, we are starting the conversation with a pre-event. That is a symposium today at the British Council.
Today,
yes.
September 11th.
Yes, at the British Council. And the topic that we are discussing is the performing arts industry, the role of public policy.
What time?
It's at 5 p.m.
Okay.
Yes, 5 p.m.
Okay. Who is invited?
So it's open to the general public. Anybody interested in the performing arts or anybody who has interest, anybody at all, is open to the general public.
Okay. So that's today.
Yes,
at
today,
5 p.m.
Yes.
Okay. Now the theme for the conference itself is we have value.
Yes, we have value.
Over the years, have we been devalued?
You could say that. So that's why we are saying this is the time for us to evaluate our capacity and the value, to let the Ghanaian public know our capacity and the value that the performing arts has. So that's the discussion that's going to take place. We need to have that discussion so we hammer these values for people to know them. Then you can say if it has been devalued or not. But I think this conversation needs to be had. So we all, know where it is and what it has done for this country. You know what the performing arts has done for the country? Just put Ghana on the map. Look at this lady, Afronita, and the little girl. It's promoting Ghana in a way.
Dancers,
but yes, all of these things, poetry, spoken word, all of those things are promoting Ghana on the map. But I mean, let's look at it clearly. I mean, if you look at it, what are the public policy that has been geared towards supporting this industry? We need to talk about it. Then we can, put out some policy ideas out there.
Okay, so the conference is a 2-day conference, October 2nd and October 3rd. The conference itself is on 2nd.
2nd October,
so,
yes.
Okay, what time does it begin? Run us through the highlights of the day.
So the conference begins at 9 a.m.
Okay.
You come, you go through your normal registration, conference registration. It's free, actually, it's free.
Okay.
Conference, you register, and then there's a plenary session where we talk about, so the topic, we have value. We are going to have the discussion. There's going to be a plenary session. After that, then we break our way into, mini sessions where we're going to talk about different areas like funding, like taxation, and, all of those things that matter and are of concern, that of interest to the industry players.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Who will be the speakers?
Okay, so let me take it from the pre-event. That's today.
Okay.
So today...
That's at the British Council. Starts at 5 p.m.
5 p.m. today at the
if you're
British
interested
Council,
in it, yeah.
So they can check our website for... There's also an online link that you can join via Google Meet, virtual, yes. But it would be great to have you in person as well.
So this is it. If you go on the website, you can find the link to join virtually.
Yes.
But me saying it would be great to have you there. It's at 5 p.m. at the British Council. It's a free event.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, starting from today's.
Yes. So today the speakers, we have 4 great speakers. So we have a person from SIGA, State Interest and Governance Authority.
Yeah,
we have Mr. Joseph Sapon, who is in charge of, he's a senior manager in terms of monitoring and evaluation. He will be there to speak on the policy aspect. We have Professor Essie Sutherland. We all know her, the renowned sociologist, academia, and what have you. She would also be there. We have Kwame Bwedi, who is also an executive producer and a film director. So we have people, and also we have Kwame Bwedi, a film director, and we also have other people who would be in the audience who would also contribute. We also have Dr. Odoi, a renowned practitioner, the owner of Plus 233, who would also be part of the panelists. So we have people from public sector and also private sector who have done stuff. So we jaw and come up with public policies that would help the industry. So, and that's for today's event. And for the conference,
October 2nd.
Yes, October 2nd. We also have great speakers also coming in. But if you want to know all of that, when you come in today, you get to know, have a lot, so we don't give out so much. But today's event is, really key for people to join as well.
Okay. And then on the recognition night, that's on the October 3rd.
3rd, yes.
Which people are you going to be recognizing? It's going to
you
be
need to come and see it.
Okay.
Yes. I don't know if you remember those people you remember, but there have been people who have contributed immensely from the 1900s till now.
Definitely.
Yes, and we don't mention them. We never mention them. If you take concert party started way back in the 1920s, for instance. Nobody talks about Bob Ansah and the 3 Carolina girls. Nobody talks about these people.
Okay, great.
You get nobody talks. People hardly talk about people like Kobna Sechi. He was the first person to, do a literary book or play in English and Fanti, the Blinkards.
Yeah.
We just mention them and we wait, wait when they pass, then we want to sell. No, we need to recognize these people because they have contributed immensely to the industry. So that's what the recognition night serves to do. Yes. Exciting.
It's been exciting having you here, Nee. And so we had a conversation on the annual conference of the Performing Arts, ACPA 2024. The first part is today at the British Council at 5 p.m. Everyone is invited. It's like a prelude to the October 2nd and October 3rd events. We've been having this conversation with Nee Sapei Ashong. He's programs manager at the National Theatre. We'll take a break, guys. When we return, BFS Travels has been around. We are going to a location in Winneba, actually Fort Bartenstein. I was there, and at a point I thought I was in a certain area where I thought there were only snakes. People, BFS Travels started. We are aiming to tour the whole of Ghana to bring you sights and sounds, cuisines, special things about our people that we don't know. And we found ourselves at Fort Bartenstein. So enjoy this together.
Studio One. This is the Breakfast Show.
Nicki Minaj, can't get me love, get me your body. But
show as part of the German Embassy and Ghana Broadcasting Corporation's collaboration on the Climate Talks project. We've traveled all the way to the Ashanti region. This is Jankoba. We've come to the first waste-to-energy hybrid Ashi. I'm happy to be here. And tell us a little bit about this project. How did it start? Who are the collaborators?
Yes, the collaborators is government of Germany through University of Rostock, and also Ghana government through CSI, many university in Ghana, like KS University, and also the main partner also
here behind this hybrid power. What is a hybrid power plant in the first place?
Hybrid power plant is the idea is to combine many types of energy sources. Of energy are all renewable, not energy from fuel. Yes, so we are using. Yes, that is the mix of all that is calling hybrid.
Okay, where does the waste come from?
Yes, the waste come from.
And then by the time the process is over, you've gone from waste to energy.
Yes.
But let's start with the lab, because I understand some great things happen in the lab.
Yes.
Can we go there?
Yes.
Okay. What happens in the lab?
In the lab, it is where we are doing all the analysis and experimentation for different processes, mainly for the gas production.
Okay.
We are convert organic material into biogas.
Okay.
After that, we purify the biogas and then use the biogas to produce electricity.
Okay.
The electricity at this time is for internal use inside our plant.
Right. So this is your lab?
Yes, this is our lab.
Okay.
Yes, welcome. And I want to introduce you, Mr. Alan, who is the technician lab, the boss of the lab.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay, Alan, happy to meet you.
Same here. Secretary.
What's your role here? What do you do in this lab?
Okay, so like I already mentioned, this is the biogas lab. Here, we consider very critical parts of the entire process. What we do here is we do feedstock quality monitoring in the lab. Also do analysis of the feedstock once we have placed it into the reactor, which we call the digester influent.
What is feedstock?
Okay, so in this facility, we utilize municipal solid waste for our processes. So in using the municipal solid waste, we intend to produce biogas from this municipal solid waste, the organic fraction specifically. Now, when the municipal solid waste comes in, it is heterogeneous in nature, in that it comprises of organic and inorganic parts.
Okay.
So the feedstock I'm referring to is the organic fraction, because that is the part that goes into the reactor.
When you say municipal solid waste, is that the poo of the people? People's poo?
No.
What is it?
No. So like I said, it is heterogeneous. So it comprises of, you can see a lot of things in it. You can see plastics, you can see organic materials, you could see metals, glass, you could see textile, paper waste. All of these are in the mix of the municipal solid waste.
Okay. And then, so tell me what happens when it comes?
Okay, so in the lab, once the municipal solid waste comes in, it normally comes in skip trucks. So once it comes in, it goes to the first point of contact, which is our bunker, where the waste is offloaded. So once the waste is offloaded, it is the responsibility of the lab to sample and then get to do analysis on the organic fraction or the organic composition of the waste.
Okay.
This gives us a prior knowledge about the nature or the characteristic of the waste that came in.
Do you have any waste here that we can have a look at?
Yes, they are in our refrigerators, so if you could.
We want to see.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
we're curious.
Okay.
Show us the waste.
Okay. So this is one of our refrigerators. We have a freezer. So you can see a stockpile of waste.
Okay, so describe what I see. What is
this? This is a typical example of organic fraction of municipal solid waste. So in this mix, this is actually blended. So in this mix, you have a combination of kenkey, husk, you have fruit waste, vegetable waste, all in this mix. And these are the organic fractions we recover from the heterogeneous municipal solid waste that comes in.
What is this?
This is cassava peel, which has been shredded.
Okay.
You know, for the anaerobic digestion process, particle size reduction is very important.
Just make it smaller.
Yes, exactly. Okay. So this has been, it has been taken through mechanical pretreatment and shredded it to a specific size.
Right.
And that is what we have in there.
What's this?
This is the cassava pulp. So you know the cassava comes with the pulp and then the peel.
Okay.
So this is the peel that has been, shredded, and then this is the pulp.
So where did all this waste come from? It was just...
These were parts of the municipal solid waste that came.
Okay.
Yes. And then because we wanted to analyze the biogas potential of the organic fraction, we sorted out specifics. So the cassava peel and the pulp are specific organic fractions that have been taken from the bulk that came in.
Okay.
This, on the other hand, isn't specific. It is specific in the fact that it is organic waste, but then as to it being specific, as in, are you just taking vegetable waste? In the vegetable waste, are you taking only cabbage? So
you're breaking things down.
So that is the breakdown. So these are specifics that have been taken from the municipal solid waste.
Okay.
And this is a mix of organic fraction of the municipal solid waste.
All right. What are the contents of all these bottles here?
So the ones here, this is the cassava, the pulp. The pulp, there's the biological part and then there's the chemical part. Microorganisms, bacteria specifically, play a very crucial role in this process. So before you introduce the feedstock you've identified into the system, you would have to make sure that you introduce what we call the inoculum. Inoculum is sort of the bacterial consortium. And the idea is that once the inoculum is present, and the inoculum reactor. So naturally, as the VFAs are increasing, the TICs, or the carbonates, are also supposed to increase to sort of buffer the system. And then we use this auto-titrator to serve that purpose. So this is one of the mostly used equipment in the lab.
All right.
We won't talk about this that much. So we'll go to our gas
analyzer.
Analyzer, yes.
So is this the last phase?
This is the last but one.
Last but one phase, okay.
Yes, yes. So our gas analyzer, like I said, we do a lot of biogas analysis in the lab. Now, once you have the volume quality analysis of the gas, and then this system serves that purpose. So typically, this system is the continuous system I mentioned earlier. And this is our gas bag. So once you use this system to produce the gas is trapped into this bag. And then what you want to do is that you want to analyze the quality of the gas. And then the gas analyzer serves that purpose. So you connect this bag to the analyzer, and then it sucks out the gas and then reads the composition. It has sensors for important components of biogas like methane, carbon dioxide, and hydrogen sulfide. Some level of oxygen as well. So the analyzer serves that purpose. Now this is the last equipment you're going to talk about here. And this we consider the heart of the lab, because most of our biogas analysis or biomethane potential determination is done with this system. And we are fortunate to have 3 of them. They're all the same, they serve the same purpose. So once you go on field, the big tank you see with the white tarpaulin, that's our large scale reactor. That's our large scale, and this is our lab scale.
Okay,
reactor.
So it's a mini version of this?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So before we take any feedstock onto the large scale, we have to do lab scale analysis to ensure that the feedstock we are putting in there would give us the results we want.
Okay.
Yes. So that is why initially I said the lab is a very critical part of our processes, because everything starts in the lab. As the process is ongoing also, there's monitoring of biochemical processes also in the lab. Yes.
Before we leave, there's one question on my mind. I remember seeing the waste inside the fridge. Why did you keep waste in the fridge?
Okay, so it is organic, and then it may go bad in layman terms. So keeping it in the fridge serves to preserve it so the time that we are ready to use it for our analysis.
Okay. Yes. Thank you very much, Alan.
From
here, where do we go?
So we are going to the field, where we are going to see the waste receival point, which is our bunker. We are also going to see our sorting line.
Okay.
And then the product development sections as well.
So, Mr. Ashe, where are we now?
Yes, we are in the weighing, where you are. When we receive the material is weighed here.
Okay.
We record the weight from the security. Yes. After recording, we are going to put the waste under the bunker.
Okay. So
Okay.
so a truck comes on this, right?
Yes, the truck come on this. It stay here for some time.
Okay.
The time for us to record the waste, the weight,
Okay.
and then you bring it in under the bunker.
Okay. So we're going to the bunker now.
Yes.
How much waste comes in here? I mean, monthly in terms of weight.
Oh, the plant have a capacity of 50 ton.
50 tons.
Yes, 50 ton per week.
A week.
A week.
Okay.
Yes, municipal solid waste. That means average 10 ton or more per day.
Per day.
Yes.
Working 5 days a week.
Yes, working 5 days a week.
And at the end of the process, how much energy can this plant produce? In terms of
when we are looking for the energies, we have solar energies. We have one section from that is produced energy is produced from solar panel, and also the biogas. The biogas. We are using the organic part of the municipal solid waste to convert it in biogas and transform the biogas to electricity.
Okay.
So that is the place where we receive all the municipal solid waste.
So this is the waste.
This is the waste.
Let's look at the waste.
Yes.
So this is the waste of people in the area.
Yes, the waste of that coming from the market. You can
see fish, I see rubber bags.
Yes, yes. It is mix of plenty rubbers, packaging,
plastic.
Yes, plastic, PET bottle.
Bottles.
Yes.
So it's just dumped here.
Yes.
Boom. And then now, when it's dumped here,
those waste.
So you're excited when you see this?
Yes.
You're excited with rubbish?
Exactly.
Okay.
Because we know that we make some sorting and use it. We have, we can go. So at this time, we are preparing to feed our sorting line.
Okay.
This can be good if you can also see how it is working.
Oh yes, we want to see it.
Okay.
What is the role of this caterpillar?
Yes, the wheel loader, it is to load the waste.
Okay.
You see the roll at this in few minutes.
Okay.
You take all the waste and put it inside in the sorting line. This is the way we are calling the sorting line.
Sorting line?
Yes.
Okay.
Where we are sorting all the waste and so on to get organic part, inorganic part, rubbers, and so on.
How did that waste come to look like this?
Oh, that is the mix of plastic. After sorting, we have 3 kind of product we are looking for. The bottle, the used bottle, you will see them right now.
All right.
And after this is the mix of different rubbers. Yes, different rubbers. After we washing, we see the washing line. We crush the waste, we wash the waste, we dry it, and we bale. We have a baling machine.
Okay, so I think at this point I'll wear my mask.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So, who is feeding this into the stuff into the machine?
This is the wheel loader.
Okay.
The starting process is
Where's
here.
the start process? Is here?
Yes.
Okay, so I want to see that.
Yes.
Ah, okay. Okay, so he's going to start the process for us to see?
Yes, this is the beginning of the process. So we take the waste with our wheel loader to come and load the sorting line. This is the beginning of the process.
So what's the technical name for this machine?
We are calling wheel loader.
It's a wheel loader. Okay, so it's a wheel loader. All right. Okay. So he's going to dump it inside here?
Yes.
Okay.
Not inside, outside, because here is designed for, we was thinking that in the designing, this place is, we are thinking that the waste we put inside the rubber.
Ah.
But it is not the case. It is some sack and so on. So we prefer to direct to put it in the conveyor.
Okay. So he's going to put it inside here?
Yes.
Its coordination has to be very good.
Yes.
Yes. That's somebody's seat.
Yes.
Okay, so this is going.
Yes, this is going. She's there to remove all the sacks. Some sacks are closed.
Okay.
So she removes them to empty the sack in the conveyor.
I see.
So the waste are going to the trommel.
To go around?
Yes, to
get
go
sorted.
around to reduce the bigger size. Go to the other size, and the smaller size follow this line.
Okay, so this is going up there. I wish we could go and see what's happening over there.
Yes.
So let's go. So it's going, it's turning round.
Yes.
Why does it turn round?
Because they want to remove the inorganic material.
Okay.
To separate inorganic material and organic material.
Okay. It's almost like a centrifuge kind of action.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So this is inorganic material, like rubbers, like carton, like PHC bottle.
So all the inorganic stuff is coming out.
Yes, inorganic material is coming out.
And where's the organic stuff going?
The organic stuff going fall down and
going
go
that way.
On that way.
Okay, so this is the inorganic. Let's go see the organic stuff. So this is the plastic and all that stuff.
Yes.
Okay. There you go. Ghanaians use a lot of plastic.
Exactly.
Damn. So this is the organic stuff.
This is organic stuff. As you are seeing, it's small size. We
Yeah.
have also some of small plastic inside, some rubbers.
So
and
it will
some
be sorted again?
Yes, again, as you are seeing, this is the plastic, and this one is the bottles. So after here, the way we can see, it is mixed with a lot of sand.
Yes.
So organic material plus a lot of sand, that is this part, after saving, you take it for compost.
So this is sand.
Yes, sand mixed with
organic stuff.
Yes, that is the challenges of when you are processing the municipal solid waste. Because here we don't have the sorting at the source. So here we have to do all the work.
Yeah, because in Europe they sort already before you even take it. There's plastic, there's glass, there's organic, different colored bins. But here we put everything together.
Everything
All
together.
play
So
all.
this is our. So normally we plan to use it to supply to feed the digester.
Yes.
Yes, because digester is using organic material. Now we have a digester over, so we collect other municipal solid waste, specifically the waste from market, organic waste from market
waste, yes.
and also restaurant with small bins. At this time, they are already sorted.
Okay.
So that is the way they are going.
So what are they doing here? Let's see what they are doing.
So they are on the process to fill the digester.
So this is some of the waste that came out from there.
This
this is a different kind of waste.
This is the mix of waste.
Mix.
This waste comes from restaurant.
Restaurant waste.
Yes, restaurant waste and also market waste. Organic part of waste coming from market. So we collect all those waste. We make with cow. We also have cow dung.
Cow dung.
Yes, from the farmer.
From the farm. Cow dung.
Yes. We collect farmer cow dung and also organic waste. All those are shred, grind, mixed together, and pumped in the digester.
Okay, so this is going up. Let's see where this ends.
Yes. This is cow dung.
Cow dung?
Yes, cow dung.
Okay.
We feed the cow dung from here.
Uh-huh.
And the organic, as the particle are small and big, we have to reduce the size. That is why we start from here.
I see.
And we mix all the two.
So different things are happening. Market waste is here.
Yes.
Cow dung is here.
But at the end, market waste and cow dung will be mixed
Together. Because they are all organic.
Yes. Because to have a good quantity and quality of gas, you have to mix material. Only one type of material is not recommended to get.
So do you have a kind of a percentage that you must respect?
Of course, that is the role of the lab. When we get the result from the lab.
When we went first.
Yes. When you went first, yes, the lab give us the ratio, the feeding ratio. Say, okay, if you have 1 kg of cow dung plus 0.5 kg of organic market waste, yes, you can get this quantity of gas and this quality of. So we represent we take the result of lab and
come and feed my people here.
Yes.
Okay. What happens to the plastic waste that you take out?
Yes, let us go
to
see the plastic waste, the use of plastic waste.
Wow, this is a really a lot of work, you know?
Yes, yes.
How early do you start?
8 p.m.
And then 8 a.m. and then you close what time?
5.
5. Okay.
Yes.
Monday to Friday?
Yeah, Monday to Friday, yes.
Saturday?
No, Saturday no.
Okay.
Saturday is sometime we are coming to monitor the biogas production.
Okay.
Because the biogas is produced every day. 24 hour over 24, 7 over 7.
So this is the plastic that has been sorted?
Yes. You see, it is plastic that called pure
water.
Yes,
Not
pure water plastic.
Okay.
And it is PA plastic that is used to produce pellets.
Yes.
We produce pellets from this type of plastic, not the mix. You see, this type is different
from that type.
That type, yes. This is a mix of plastic.
What do you do with this one?
With this one, we take this to crush first.
You crush it?
Yes, we crush it. After we wash it, and then we bale it. We have a baling.
Then you bale it?
Yes, to get the bale we have seen here.
Okay. So do you sell it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, people are using it to the boiler.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
So nothing is wasted here?
No, no.
You don't waste?
No, no.
Okay.
So
from here, where are we going?
So from here, let me show you the machine that is used for the pure water plastic.
Yes.
I follow the same process.
Yes.
This is extrusion machine.
Extrusion.
Yes, yes, to produce the pellet.
Okay.
To produce the pellet. So this machine needs only one type of plastic. We cannot use a mix of plastic. So that is why we are only separate and use only the pure water plastic.
I get you.
To produce pellet
from
this machine.
I get you. So we've seen the waste and how it's sorted and how it's transported. How does it get to the energies? Okay, we have some cans here too.
Yes, we have some cans. This is for direct sell. We don't have the process right now to process the line to process this one. Same thing to the bottle.
So who buys this?
Oh, there is some company in Kumasi. Yes, buy this.
I see. Interesting. So now the energy side. Let's look at the energy side.
Okay.
We've seen the waste.
Yes.
Now we need to see the energy.
Yes.
Yes. What are these white tanks I see here?
Yes, this is pyrolysis section. Pyrolysis section. That means some of our waste, the granule, will be used here to produce biofuel. Okay. This is the storage tank for biofuel.
These are storage tanks, so there's biofuel inside?
Yes. Not yet. Not yet. Because the work is in progress.
Okay, it's in progress.
Yes.
So after all this stuff has been sorted, the manure, the market waste, the mixed waste, where's the next level, next step?
Next step is to see how we convert biogas to electricity.
Thank you. Let's see it.
From the solar, the output of solar is 100 kilowatts.
Okay.
The output of the biogas, the gas engine, is 100 kilowatts.
Okay.
We plan also to buy another pyrolysis engine. That will also be 100 kilowatts.
Who uses this electricity that you create?
We are using inside.
For yourselves?
Yes, for ourselves, internal use. Normally, the idea is to connect the plant to the grid.
Yes.
To give the electricity to the grid. See, for example, we are use our equipment for a few times. After this time, all is up. So we continue produce the electricity, we are continue produce. So the idea is to feed the electricity to the grid.
Okay.
But yes, where we are not using.
But now, for now, when you create the electricity, you make the you create the energy, you use it.
Yes.
Which is well. Okay. So you want to show me a process?
Yes.
Okay. Don't worry, I can jump. You know.
Yeah.
So this is where you have the ratios.
Exactly.
The ratios of what you want.
Yes. After mixing, you see inside you have some stirrers
to
mix the material.
Where are the stirrers?
Yes, inside. This long one to mix inside.
How deep is this tank?
It is 4 meters.
You don't want to fall into this?
No, it is not.
Not advisable?
No.
4 meters?
Yes.
So what is the process? So it comes in here?
It comes in here.
Through where? Through here?
Yes, through here.
Okay.
So this is the sun. We take it off every Monday because the challenges is also we have even the cow dung are mixed with the sun.
So how do you take the sand out?
So the sand stay on the bottom of the when we finish pumping, the sand stay on the bottom.
I see there's water. So
Yes.
you introduce water into the system?
Yes. We have 2 boreholes.
Okay.
That is used here.
Okay.
We supply, this is our source of water.
Uh-huh.
We mix water plus cow dung plus organic.
Okay.
Yes.
And then what is the role of the water?
The role is water is the breakdown because in the biogas process, the first stage is hydrolysis.
Uh-huh.
Hydrolysis means to mix the material with water.
Okay.
To break down the big molecule into the small one.
Okay. So this is cow dung plus organic waste.
This one is like sand.
Sand?
Sand, yes,
Okay,
coming from cow dung.
From cow dung.
After our process, this is our...
This is the sand from the cow dung?
From the cow
The
dung.
cow dung comes from there?
Yes.
And goes in?
Yes, because the cow dung is also mixed with small sand.
Okay. So how long does this process take inside this? Is this a tank? What do you call
this
this?
is the mixing tank.
Mixing tank. How long?
Pre-treatment tank.
Okay.
That means when the material is inside, we are waiting for the material to be full in the tank.
It has to be full?
Yes. After we pump it from this, because we are seeing it is 2 tanks. One, the first one and the second one. So we send, when the material is full, after mixing, we pump it, we transfer from this tank to another one.
Okay.
Yes, and from here we have some pump to feed the digester.
Okay. What is the digester is digesting what?
The digester is digesting all the organic. Digester, that means they break down the organic material to produce the gas.
Okay.
And the gas is stored on the upper part of the...
In the dome?
In the dome, on the top of the digester.
Okay.
Yes.
What is the risk of explosion?
Oh, here we don't have any explosion risk at this place.
Okay.
Any explosion risk, but it is...
Inside there?
Inside there, on the top.
Why?
Because we can have some linkage. Some linkage of the gas.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
The gas with the mixing of gas plus air. Yes.
And it causes a reaction.
Yes. This is explosive environment. So that means we cannot go in on the top without any recommendation.
Would you call this a reactor?
Yes, we can call it a reactor. The volume is 1,000 cubic meters.
1,000 cubic meters?
Yes, of the biogas.
Okay. And then it will produce how much of energy?
At this time, we don't have the device to monitor the daily production, but the storage is around 600.
Okay.
600 cubic meters.
Let me ask a silly question. What does the gas look like?
The gas is, we cannot see, just sometimes smell.
You can smell it. What does it smell like?
It smells like some egg.
Okay,
yes.
It's a bit rotten.
Yes.
Okay.
But when it smells like that, that means there is a lot of sulfury inside.
A lot of sulfur in it.
Yes.
Okay.
So H2S, we have to remove it.
Okay.
That is the way we are doing before using in the gas engine.
Okay.
Before going there, we have to analyze the gas.
Is it possible to see the analysis?
Yes, if you give us just some time to take the analysis from the lab.
Okay.
And take it here.
And then you check it out.
Live from GBC Studio 1, this is The Breakfast Show.
Welcome back from the hybrid power plant all the way in the Ashanti region. Thank you, Bosca, for bringing us that message. The second part we'll play to you tomorrow, but for now, we'll take some of your messages. And Dr. Ronald Abrahams is saying, essentially, Ghana must develop a digital voting system from our mobile phones, even if one is using a YAM, and from the comfort of our homes. This could sidestep the violence and killings at the polling stations and collation centers. International consultant environment. We just showed something about waste. So, hey, Eric says, you can drink water to live without gold, but you can't use gold to live without water. And it continues on, Ghana, if we cannot fight Galamsey as a nation, destroying our water bodies, can we fight terrorists in case we get attacked? I'm sad as a Ghanaian. This is from Eric Finn Awoshi. HR International says the Electoral Commission got everything wrong from the very beginning, from registration, exhibition, and now transfer of voters. Their intentions to disenfranchise eligible voters is glaring. We need a total overhaul of the EC nation records, indeed. We allowed the horses to bolt and now attempting to lock the stable gates. The bitter truth is that we have totally lost the fight against Galamsey. We need a reset, period. And Osan Yao says, fellow Ghanaians, when it comes to Galamsey menace in the country, NEC cannot run away from them. Okay, so the latest one is Ghanaians should come together and fight the Galamsey menace in the country because they are destroying our lands and river bodies. We all know that those Galamseyers are Ghanaians, so why should we destroy our own lands and river bodies and cause water shortage and harmful sickness among ourselves? Galamsey must stop now. Special greetings to Mike Aaron Okwe, a.k.a. Gabo, the incoming MP for Domingo Abinya. This is Sankide all the way in Taifa. And now I'll hand over to the latest couple in town, Val and Alan. What's up?
Sankide says we are all Ghanaians.
Yeah, we are all Ghanaians.
Well,
are you not a Ghanaian?
I'm yet to figure out.
I'm a Ghanaian.
Ghana card.
Have you transferred your vote?
I have an ECOWAS card.
Hey, guys.
Hey, thank you very much for staying with us. This is where we draw the curtain to a close. It's been fantastic being with you from 5 a.m. till now.
But guess what? We are signing off here, but across social media, we are still GTV Ghana. Share with us what you would want to see on our show tomorrow. I am sitting with a musician. We are going to have an intimate session, worship session with him tomorrow.
And I'll be sitting with the Sheikh and the Rev, God willing.
Okay. So, guys, we'll see you on the flip side tomorrow, bright and early. From the whole team here, have a great Wednesday and be kind. Bye.
I'll be beating in my life.